and whenever we do a watch along, we tend to target those kind of shows. And there's still plenty of those that we've not done, to be honest. But going back to like an old 2008 Backlash is not something that we've ever really found ourselves doing. So, to be honest, it is nice to kind of go back into these B shows because I certainly can't remember everything that goes down on them. Certainly, I mean, I genuinely don't know that I've seen the show in 17 years. So, I know obviously that it's the show, and I've got a vague idea about some of the stuff that goes down because I remember it being the show that just follows WrestleMania 24, and we've done a WrestleMania 24 watch along. We spoke about that show and how much that means to me because I was actually in Florida about a week before WrestleMania 24 took place. I didn't get like my timing quite right, to be honest with you. I'd kind of booked it without looking when WrestleMania was. It was coincidence that I just happened to be there so close to WrestleMania. I don't know if I'd have really thought about it. I don't know that I would have gone because, to be honest, when I went to Florida, I was not drowning in money, right? I was not a well-off individual, so I certainly had enough that I could save where I could go to Florida and have a little bit of spending money. But I don't think I was at the point where I could be getting WrestleMania tickets and really splurging, you know. So I just didn't look into it. So yeah, I was about a week out, and but I got to sort of experience a little bit of the buzz. I got to experience and see like all the graphics around and everything, and that's the closest I've ever come to being around a WrestleMania. So this show is a real interesting one because we did actually watch WrestleMania 24 not long ago, earlier this year. They did a watch along on the WWE Vault for it, and we did that. And so it's going to be quite nice to watch the show that follows on from that show. This is like the fallout, really. I mean, think about it. In years' time, people will watch Backlash this year, 2025, to see what was the fallout from WrestleMania 41. What did WWE do next? And actually, these shows, low-key, are a little bit overlooked because we all know the WrestleManias, but aren't you interested in what happened next? Well, if you are, normally it's the Backlash that you need to search out. So Backlash is kind of a special show, really. It's what happened next after all of those WrestleMania moments. So I am looking forward genuinely to watching this one with you guys. Obviously, we know at 24, we would have like Shawn Michaels retiring Ric Flair. That was that WrestleMania. We had Undertaker and Edge, Mayweather, Big Show, but of course that was it for Mayweather. He wasn't around after WrestleMania. But yeah, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it, and just having a little bit of a chat with you guys as well. We've got 55 minutes before the show begins. If you are wondering where it's going to be shown, it's going to be on WWE Vault. So if you go over to WWE Vault on YouTube, you'll be able to find the watch along when it starts in about 55 minutes. Miss Clown said there was probably some kind of backlash. Well, there was this year. You're right. There certainly was this year a bit of a backlash. Right, let's go into the chat, and we can just go wherever people want us to go and talk about whatever people want us to talk about. I'm guessing it's going to be kind of dominated by more current stuff, which is absolutely fine. Talking about like where we're going for Backlash and whatever. I did drop my predictions video earlier for those that have seen that. Shout out to you. But obviously the card's not that big at the moment, so I mean there's not that much to break down, but I really did try to put as much info into it as what I could. I mean, in there we have a look at how ticket sales are going, we look at the betting odds, we talk about matches that could be made, we even predict who would win those matches, we look at the card itself, and we do a fair bit considering there's only 4 matches that have been announced. So for those that watched that, I hope you enjoyed that. Here's Edward.
Edward Brown LFC1, member. Hey Days, how are you? I'm not hungover. I had a great night last night, got laid for first time in a while, nightclub. Was good, wasn't planned, only planned to go pub, but ended up in a nightclub till 2 a.m.
Edward, shout out to you. Thank you for oversharing information there. I'm glad you had a good time. James
Chadwick. Day's update on Shots' contract. It doesn't end till July. From herself on Twitter.
Yeah, I think there's been an agreement. I mean, that's interesting, but I think there's been an agreement for her that she's just not going to get used. So it might just be that, like, we're not going to renew it. We're going to let you know now. You can get, like, you know, as soon as your contract's done, you're free. But, you know, there's no point us giving you TV time when we don't plan on renewing it. And they've actually even moved her to the alumni section, haven't they? Which is pretty crazy if her contract technically is not expired yet. She's already been moved over to the part of on the website where all the ex superstars get moved to. So she's done. I obviously don't expect to see her, but interesting that it's July and it's still got a good few months on it. What's your favorite scary film? Let's see what's your favorite scary film is saying.
What's your favorite scary film? Remember, it's Batista versus Shawn Michaels, and it sets up the epic feud between Chris Jericho versus Shawn that took the summer 2008.
Yeah, shout out to you, buds. So, yeah, Batista was, I think, did she say Batista? Batista was not happy about Ric Flair being retired by Shawn. So he's here to kind of, you know, set the record straight. But as you said, it kind of set up, what a feud as well. What a feud, the whole Jericho, Shawn Michaels stuff. So, yeah, that really was like one of the big feuds of 2008. So, should be good. Should be a fun show. Adamus
music. I had a solid bowel movement this morning.
Nice.
I like this openness in this fabulous community.
That's what we're here for. We're here for good bowel movements. We're here for people getting laid. We're here for all of that information being shared on this Backlash 2008 stream. Really, it does say Backlash 2008 on the thumbnail and everything. But actually what this is just a forum for you to just share absolutely anything about your personal lives. Kind of things that you probably would just put in a diary. But like you're like, no, I need the world to know about this, and so you can just share it openly on this platform. That is the service that we provide. So yeah, anyone else got anything that they want to chuck in, just like Edward did last night? Feel free to pop it in the chat. Wrestle with Andy.
Wrestle with Andy. Member. There's so many random PPVs like this. I've watched one time ever years ago at 2 a.m. and will never see again.
Yeah.
It's wild how much wrestling we all see over the years.
Yeah, it's really true. Really true. I cannot recall much of this show, to be honest with you. I know what it follows on from, and I know kind of vaguely where things are going to go, of course. I can kind of recall certain things, but without going back and really deep diving again and like going into it all, there just is a lot of these kind of shows. I do think, I mean, it is random, you are correct, but I do think what I said at the start rings true in the sense of if you want to know what happened after WrestleMania, then the Backlashes are the shows, obviously, to go to. So it's got a little bit of purpose in that regard. It's got a little bit of purpose. It's not like completely out on its own, like, you know, in flipping June or whatever, where it's just not really connected to anything. I suppose you could make an argument some of that stuff is setting up SummerSlam. But yeah, it is just a bit of a random sort of kind of out there show. But I don't mind it, honestly. I mean, obviously, WWE Vault are uploading these shows onto their channel. These are the kind of shows that were just sitting on the network, sitting on Peacock, you know. So, but they're slowly kind of putting them over onto their YouTube channel. I don't really know why. I don't know why they're doing that. I think there's not much interest in the back catalogue, is the truth. Wrestling, to some degree, is a little bit like boxing. it's not like a TV show. There's been too many episodes. There's too much stuff. You can't really start at episode 1 of wrestling and work your way through. And plus also the other thing as well is a lot of cards are pretty mid. A lot of cards, to be honest, are pretty skippable. Matches are skippable. You'll tend to get 1 or 2 matches on a card that like might be worth going back to. And then the rest of it is like, nah. Yeah, I could watch it, don't watch it, doesn't really matter, right? A lot of it will fit into storylines, but unless you're really invested in that particular storyline, again, it doesn't really matter. So it's a little bit like boxing where you could go back and watch some old boxing fights, but you're not going to watch all of the old boxing fights. There's just ones here and there that are going to be of interest to you. I mean, there's just too much content, which I'm not complaining about, but yeah, it does make it hard, doesn't it? Like with going back and looking at shows and putting like pieces together and everything. Like the older you get, it gets a bit jumbled. But that's why I'm so genuinely looking forward to doing these on a regular basis. And I hope we can find an audience, a community. I mean, we've got a great community anyway, but I hope within that community we can find a sub-community of people that are interested in retro watch-alongs. Because I just think it's a great opportunity as there's nothing really else to do on a Sunday. So as they're getting uploaded to WWE Vault, it's just a good refresh. It's just a good way to go back and rewatch and get that refresh and, you know, kind of put the pieces back together again. They're there. They're just a bit fuzzy. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, I think it'll be a very interesting show. I don't remember it being a bad show. So, yeah, should be good. What else have we got? Have we started? Said it's been Vish. No, it's on WWE Vault, but I like to do it this way because that way I sort of feel like WWE do a lot of the promotion work for us. So if we just randomly on a Sunday said, let's watch whatever, you know, that we've got to communicate that. We've got to get that message out there. Whereas with WWE showing it, they're on their social media, they're shouting about it, you know, come and join us. We're going to be doing this. So we're just kind of, we're along for the ride in many ways. But as I said, I genuinely like doing these because it's a good opportunity to kind of have that refresh. It's a good way to go back and like score the old matches as well. Serves a lot of purposes, really. So might as well tag along. We're like a tag team. I'm just the partner that doesn't really do anything. I'm the Marty Jannetty. So WWE are the Shawn Michaels. They're doing all the work. They look awesome. And I'm just sort of like the Marty Jannetty that's here just providing a little watch along as they air it. That's the relationship we've got. They don't know that. But that's how it works in my mind. Where are we at with the watch along? Said it's been Vish. Yeah, so it's starting about 45 minutes, buds. Leaping Lucha Larry said, I'm looking forward to the show. I don't think I've seen Backlash 08. I stopped watching when Eddie passed. I picked it back up about 2011. That's another good thing, isn't it? If you did take that step away, then and you missed out on some of the shows, it's a great way, again, to kind of fill those gaps. So I think that's quite normal. A lot of people I speak to say they had a bit of a step away. I think the way it tends to work is, you see, I didn't step away, but certainly I wasn't, my priorities changed, yeah? I mean, when I was a kid, it was wrestling. Number one priority. And football. Outside playing football. But I could get both of them to work quite well. Go and play football. When it was time to come in, watch wrestling. Lovely. So that was my life growing up, but as you get older, obviously, like, work becomes a factor. And life, do you know what I mean? Like, responsibilities, partners, all that sort of stuff. So I don't have kids to worry about, but I'm sure that would be a factor. But I think what tends to happen is that people do, unfortunately, fall out with wrestling. It's just life gets in the way. Some people outgrow it. Some people love it as a kid, and then as they get older, other interests come in and they never go back to it. But it's really funny how so many people get into wrestling as a kid, and then they go back to it later in life. I think it's quite nostalgic. I think that it's pretty simple to follow. I think that it's got a lot of different elements. There's a live element if you want to see it live. It's a regular TV product, so it can, kind of be a constant in your life. Sometimes in life, people come and go, friends come and go, partners come and go, jobs come and go. But wrestling, in a strange way, can always be there because it's on a Monday, it's on a Friday, it's on a Tuesday if you want to watch NXT. And so it's just a constant, always there. There's something quite reassuring about that. And I think that not only that, but there's communities, of course. So there's people to talk to about it. It's something you can communicate with other people about and share your thoughts and your passions. And I think there's a lot of reasons as to why adults return. There is this real misconception that it's really aimed at kids and it's only for kids. And I mean, all you got to do is just show them Gunther, and Jimmy to show them that that's just not the case. There's definitely times where we do things that you can't tell me are aimed at 8 and 9-year-olds. So, WWE, yeah, of course, it has to stay on that PG path because it does not want to alienate the kids. But there's a big difference between being a show that is primarily for kids, aimed at kids, and a show that will also cater for kids. And I feel like wrestling's very good at being there for kids, for adults, for men, for women. Like, it's family entertainment. That's the best way you can word it, isn't it? It's for the family. The whole family can go. A couple of dudes that have been watching it their whole lives that want to go and watch it, no one's going to roll their eyes or look at them strange. It's just a couple of girls want to go on their own, no problem. Group 4 or 5 girls really love Rhea, Bianca, Roman, Randy. They want to go down to the wrestling. No one's going to look at them strange. So it's really good family entertainment. So yeah, I think that's quite normal, stepping away, honestly, and then coming back. Hasib
Hassan. Days, how would you feel if we get something like AJ Cena MITB Punk wins the briefcase next night on Raw, says to Cena, I'm cashing in on you at SummerSlam for a one-on-one match?
I wouldn't mind if AJ or Punk did that. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't do that because I think that the cash-in, and certainly the cash-in with Cena as champion, could be extra exciting. So I wouldn't have them throw away the cash-in moments. There's been a bit of a theory that we could get to the end of the year and we could actually have John leave him with the belt, and he could even beat his final opponent. He could be gloating about, that's it, I'm done. And then boom, music hits, someone comes down with the cash-in. We've even spoke about how can you try and hide that? Could you fake an injury? Could it be that, there's the Money in the Bank person's just not available? I think people will buy into the ruining wrestling thing, but as I'm looking on YouTube and I'm going through Twitter, I'm not seeing much conversation about ruining wrestling. It might be because it's still a little way off. It might be because we've still got over 6 months until he's about to leave. So it might be that it's just not hitting yet. I think it'll get there. My feelings on it. I'm not keen on it. But I think it'll get there. I think it'll work with the casual fans in particular about the whole, oh my God, he's going to take the belt, he's going to ruin wrestling. And they're going to count it down, and every match that goes by is going to reinforce that message. And I think if they can get it to work, then, of course, if he does win his last match and he's about to leave and someone cashes in, that would be a really exciting moment. So I think the longer that you have the Money in the Bank, the more options you've got. And it's always good to have options, of course. So, yeah, I don't know. This year in particular, I don't think I would have someone announcing I'm gonna cash in now, and the honourable thing, which we've only seen a few times before, where they actually say I'm going to cash in and I want my match at SummerSlam, and they tell them in advance. I would not do that this year. If it happens, it happens. I mean, I wouldn't be like super upset about it, but yeah, I kind of like the idea of keeping our options open. Seba, hope you're well. But here's Edward again.
Edward Brown, LLC.
God only knows what we're going to get.
Days. When was the last time you was at a pub? Also, do you have a guy that goes in the toilet and just has aftershave and sprays? Because here in Scotland, we have them all the time. It's weird. I'm bud.
Last time I was in a pub was probably a few Sundays ago. Went out with my brother and my parents. Just had some Sunday lunch. Just went to the pub. Just had like, roast dinner. So a bit of beef, bit of maybe chicken, roast chicken. Obviously, like some Brussels sprouts, carrots, the Sunday lunch. I know I don't think you have that so much in America or Canada. I don't know. I mean, it's every Sunday here in the UK. All the pubs are doing Sunday lunch. And that's going to be some sort of roasted meat. It's going to be your veg, your carrots, your peas, your cabbage, your all of that stuff. Parsnips, maybe. Yorkshire pudding. Google it if you don't know what that is. And gravy. And that is really, if you're going out to the pub on a Sunday, that's going to be what everyone's having. You can get other options than that if you didn't fancy it, but I mean, that's really why people go to the pub on a Sunday at lunchtime, is for that. And a lot of people do it at home as well. So yeah, a few Sundays back, I went out with my folks, went out with my brother, and we had like a Sunday lunch thing. So about 3-4 weeks ago, I think was last time I was in a pub. In regards to if there's someone in the toilets, yeah, you get that on a night time. You get that in Birmingham, yeah. Not at every bathroom, but and to be honest, whenever I go in, I'm still surprised when I see them. I don't think you have. I don't know. Maybe you have it in Canada. Maybe you have it in America. But if you're in a club in the UK and you go to the men's toilets, there's a good chance that as you walk in, there'll be the sinks, of course. There'll be a guy standing there with all these aftershaves and everything. And he is like, you go to the urinal. He's not looking or anything at you. He's just standing there. And once you're like done washing your hands, he'll be like, do you want to spray of this? Freshen up. He'll grab you some hand towels, and he'll just try and help, right? Like with like washing not wash your hands for you, but like, here's some towels to dry your hands. Do you want a spray of this? And he's doing it because he wants a tip. I mean, I don't know quite how it works. I don't know if they give the venue like a percentage, because the venue clearly knows the person's doing that. Because obviously their staff will be going into the toilets from time to time, so the venue will know. I've got to think that they are maybe getting a percentage. I don't think it's a service that the venue actually provides. I think it's just, I don't know, it's this weird job that's just people have started took to. It's really weird, isn't it? It's weird. I don't feel freaked out whenever I go in there and there's a guy in there doing that. I don't feel freaked out, but it is a bit awkward when you're washing your hands and I don't need you to pass me a paper towel, I don't need that. And I don't need, if I'm going out and probably put some aftershave on anyway, I don't need a little squirt of whatever cheap thing you've got there. I just don't need it. Yeah. So to be honest with you, I'm kind of like, the novelty of that wore off after like the second or third time. So now I'm just like, no, I'm not interested. And I just go. So I don't mind them, but I ain't really got much time for them, to be honest. So it's like begging, isn't it? It's like begging, which, I feel sorry for homeless people that are put in that position. I don't know that these people are homeless or anything. I mean, they tend to be there in quite smart shirts and ties and little waistcoats and everything. I've never seen any dressed in casual clothes. They're always suited and booted, They always tend to look respectable. But it's a weird thing, that, and it is weird. It is weird. Again, I don't know if you have that abroad. But it is a bit of a weird one. Big Time, shout out to you. See what Big Time is bringing.
Big Time Baxter.
I'm looking at 32.
Remember, Days with Cora and Gigi getting released.
Yeah.
I think it may have been the case they've been in developmental for 4 years. Injuries, women like Kalani, Jida, Sol Ruka surpassing them in a short time frame.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I completely agree. Dave Meltzer actually put out a little thing earlier which seemed to upset a lot of people, and probably rightfully so that it upset people, because I think it was a bit too much of a sweeping statement. He put a statement out saying that he had heard that those that had been let go were lazy. And I don't know, and I would be surprised if that was the reason for everyone. It could be that the odd person was let go. I'm obviously not going to speculate as to who those people are, but it could be true that the odd person was let go for laziness, right? I could believe that. I don't find that hard to believe, that the odd person was let go because they were not putting in the required work, right? But that might explain 1 or 2 releases. It's certainly not going to explain everybody. So, but again, I haven't heard the quote. I do feel a little bit sorry for Dave Meltzer, right? And maybe I shouldn't, but I do feel like we do a lot of talking. Obviously, we always start, right? I'm very fortunate in that no one knows who I am. So when I'm talking, none of my stuff is getting like clipped or quotes being taken and put on the X account, right? Or anything going around Twitter. Because to be honest, there's a lot of stuff that you could take from these conversations out of context that probably wouldn't sound very good. But I would like to think that in context, they would sound fine, or they are acceptable, right? So I do look at that and I'm like, well, I don't know if he didn't say, and this is not everyone, but I'm just going to tell you what I've been told. I've been told that those that got released, and this came from, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that first part is missing. And what actually goes around is like this quote of like people that got released, I'm told, were, because of laziness. Sometimes taking things out of context. And again, there's another one example as well where I've actually seen him say, I'm assuming such and such, and then he'll say something. And then that gets reported as, oh, Dave Meltzer has said this. And so he's not saying that he's been told it. He's not saying that it's come from a source. He's not saying that, like, oh, this is going to happen. He's saying, well, I've watched the show, and it feels like this is where we're going. And then when it doesn't go that way, people are like, Dave Meltzer's washed. Dave Meltzer doesn't know what he's on about. And it's like, well, yeah, but he never said that was... He never said he got told that. I do think there's a lot of bad faith around Dave Meltzer. I'm not here to defend him, but I'm just here to be fair. I'm just here to say, I think there's a lot of bad faith. I think there's a lot of people that are actively trying to make Dave Meltzer look bad. And I think that Dave Meltzer has shown that he is fully capable of doing that on his own, right? Dave Meltzer has definitely dropped the ball at times. He has definitely made mistakes, okay? I'm not here trying to defend that, but I just think it doesn't look good when people are trying to spin things to make him look bad. I think it does the opposite thing. All it does is it makes me feel a bit sorry for him, actually. So I need to see the full quote, to be honest. I need to see the full quote. Because what you've got is you've got Dave Meltzer saying that comment, which sounds stupid. I need to see the full quote. It might be another classic stupid Dave Meltzer comment, right? Legit, there's no defending it. But what you've got now is that quote doing the rounds, and you've actually got Gigi reacting to it. Gigi Dolan responded to it and was like, I've done all this, done all that, blah, blah, blah. How dare you call me lazy and all that stuff. It's all in unseen for later. But, yeah, I always think it's better to, try and watch the clip and see the context. Suppose because I'm in a similar position where I do a lot of talking myself, and we touch on a lot of subjects, and we touch on anything. I mean, I really don't try and stray away from anything. I want people to know if something's happened, then we'll talk about it. So we really do cover a lot of stuff, and I think there's a lot of stuff that could be taken out of context that just would not maybe sound good, wouldn't make good for a sound clip, or wouldn't make good for a quote. And if, I'm lucky that I don't have people that are acting in bad faith that are doing that, but unfortunately Dave Meltzer does. So I suppose I'm saying I'm not trying to defend him whilst I'm sat here and seemingly defending him, but I don't know. I just want it to be fair. I just think Dave Meltzer has got a lot of stuff wrong. He's said a lot of inappropriate stuff, and he should be, scolded for that. But I do find that it gets exaggerated. It's got to the point now where pretty much anything Dave says, people are laying into it. And it's like some of it is actually accurate, some of it is interesting, some of it is informative, some of it has been taken out of context. And then, mixed in with that is a load of bad takes and a load of fake news. I just think, why not just have a go at him for the stuff he gets wrong, and praise him for the stuff that he gets accurate, and just treat him like norm? I don't understand. I think he's really annoyed a lot of people. I think he's really antagonized a lot of people, upset a lot of people, and he's now created a lot of enemies. And as a result, those people now are digging, and they're just trying to catch him out. I can't say that is this occasion, but, that's my feelings on Dave. Honestly, those are my honest feelings, is that I feel a little sorry for him that he's not being treated totally fairly by everyone. I mean, you lot are just, you lot are fine. You're not going out your way to kind of, throw shade for no reason. But there's people out there that are, yeah. Steve?
Stephen, 1983. Member. I don't feel bad for Dave Meltzer because he is putting himself in these positions. He doesn't get all the facts straight and makes his opinions sound like they are facts. He has poor communication.
Well, that's your opinion. I don't disagree entirely. I do disagree in the sense of I've seen him say stuff that has then been reported inaccurately, and I don't blame Dave for that. I think what you've got a lot of accounts like Ringside News, No DQ, Sportskeeda, Bleacher Report. You've got these kind of accounts that they don't get sources really themselves. They get news from Sean Ross at PW Insider, Dave Meltzer, PWN. There's a handful of sources, and then you've got a load of companies that just take that information. And there is a lot of dramatizing that goes on. There is a lot of making a quote. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen headlines that are what, and then you click on it, and it's not that exciting. The story itself is not that exciting, but the headline will be, I cut you. That happens with the quotes as well. They will give you stuff that's a little out of context, that if you actually go and watch the thing, he does make it clear. It really depends how much you are watching Dave Meltzer and him speak. And if you're putting in that kind of work and you are watching his interviews and his podcast on a regular basis, and then comparing to the quotes that come out, and you've got that opinion, then that's fine. You are entitled to that opinion. Having done that myself, I don't feel that it is fully accurate. I find myself feeling a bit sorry for him. I don't want to get it twisted. I don't want this to turn into a flipping something that gets out of context. He has done stuff wrong. He has said things wrong. He has reported false information. There's a whole list of stuff. I blast him for that. And if as a result of that, he's no longer trustworthy and you don't trust him and you don't like him and all of that, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and defend him. But equally, I like to think I'm pretty fair in the sense of have a go at him for what he does wrong. But I've seen stuff that's been taken out of context. I've seen stuff that's, for example, do you remember when he reported was it Afa or Sika's passing? And he says, like, really sad to hear the news. Well, there was a family member that had actually posted this really heartfelt, like, you've gone to heaven now, and all that stuff, right? There was, like, a member of the Anoa'i family that had posted that. So Dave understandably looked at that and was like, okay, he's gone. I mean, everyone knew that he was ill anyway. And then you got a family member saying, you've gone to heaven now. You're up there wrestling with, you know, Yokozuna and all this kind of stuff. Say hello to them. They didn't outright say he had died, right? They didn't outright say that he had died. But there was enough there that even I saw that post and was like, he's passed, right? Even I thought the same. It really did read that way. But I don't have a news kind of outlet. I mean, we do Unseen, but I'm fortunate in that I don't have to do it there and then, right? If I had done it there and then, I also may have put out a message saying the same, because this message really did read that way. Dave Meltzer put out that such and such had passed, and then of course it turns out that he hadn't at that point. He was going to. And I think they knew it was happening, and it was just a case of any moment. And I think it really was just either the next day or a few hours later. I mean, there was not much in it. But that was a big story that went around, that Dave had been posting fake news. And the amount of people that were like, he's just pulling this out of his backside. He's just absolutely making this up. Like, what an absolutely disgusting human he is for making up this fake news. How can you do that about someone that's at the end of their life? Why would you make this up? And I saw all of this fallout, and I was like, nah. Like, he hasn't pulled it out of his backside. He hasn't just made this up. I saw the exact same message that he saw, and I totally understand why he got to the conclusion he did. Now, could he have reached out to the family, being in the position that he was in? Yeah, he probably could have. But I think he felt confident enough reading that message from a family member, someone that's clearly not going to be making this up. I think he felt confident enough to go, okay, that's all I needed. Okay. And so he went with this thing. And then it turned out that he hadn't passed. But then a few hours later or the next morning, he had. So he wasn't... this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know where people sit on the fence with stuff like that, but if you go example by example in that regard, I think you can find things that he's clearly got stuff wrong, but I know of examples like that where I'm like, no, I think I know what's happened here. And it's not that he's an awful human, and it's not that he's making stuff up or just pulling it out of his backside. It's that, yeah, this kind of stuff can happen. So I don't know. I just see stuff like that, and I'm like, I just wish I don't know. I just wish it was a bit more fair. I get that he gets confused, and I get that he gets stuff wrong, and I get that people don't like his AEW bias, and I get that people don't like his ratings, but you know, it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, if you don't like him because he prefers AEW, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. If you don't like him because of the fact that he keeps getting stuff wrong, that's fine, because there is a long list of things that he's got incorrect, and that's absolutely fine. I mean, his sources are clearly, you know, not that good. There is also a theory that WWE have been feeding him like fake news and stuff. So there is a theory that WWE have been trying to get false information to him to try and discredit him. And we know that Bruce Pritchard doesn't rate him. We know that Eric Bischoff doesn't rate him. So, I mean, there could be something to that. They always say that he makes stuff up. But then equally, you hear about how Jim Cornette was an avid reader and subscriber of The Observer. You know, Jim Cornette was totally on board with Dave until AEW came along. And I think that massively hurt him. If you was around in wrestling before 2019, Dave Meltzer was revered. He was someone that was respected. Dave Meltzer giving out his star ratings was something that was a thing. And like wrestlers were trying to get 5-star matches, and you know the Young Bucks had their finishing move, the Meltzer driver in Japan, and Dave Meltzer was kind of held in regards. I mean, not by everyone, but certainly in a lot more regard than he is now. And I think it's Jim Cornette turning on him because of AEW. And I think it's the bias of AEW and the tribalism. I think all of that has played a massive part, honestly. And then I think within that, obviously, as a result of that toxicity, people are now pointing out the stuff that he gets wrong. I think there's a lot of bad faith. I think that it gets amplified and exaggerated on social media. And seriously, I think that's at play. I think that's the truth. I think the truth is that it's not just that he's an incompetent buffoon and that people are, you know, just having a go at him for no reason. Having watched where he was and how he was revered before AEW and then comparing it to where we are now after AEW has started, I think there is a very clear connection. And I think that's played a massive part. So this is why when I'm like, I just wish it was a bit fair. I just wish, like, you know, he was getting grief that I felt that he deserved on a level that I felt he deserved. But again, I'm not here to defend. But whenever we get onto the Dave Meltzer conversation, it is one that people are very opinionated on. And I welcome that. I'm not shying away from it. I welcome it. Everyone's got an opinion on Dave. But Steve, let's let Steve have his follow-up point.
Stephen, 1983. Member. His reporting style and communication is poor. That is part of the problem. The other is inaccuracy. Misconstrued reports may be misinterpreted, or he has worded it poorly. AEW bias is not the issue.
That's fair. That's fair. If that's how you feel, that is fair. Hannah. Let's go over to Hannah.
Hannah, WWE. Days. TTC. Imagine if there was an acknowledgement ceremony stream for you after all your hard streaming during Mania season. It would either be the highest viewed or nobody shows up. Shout out to you.
Hannah, shout out to you. Howdy and Wyatt 6.
Howdy and Wyatt 6. Days, do you think will be putting the Wyatt 6 and Alexa Bliss back on Monday Night Raw, and that's why we haven't seen a tease on SmackDown? Since Tom said it was glitch on last Monday on Raw.
Do we think they're going to be putting Wyatt 6 and Alexa back on Monday Night Raw, and that's why we haven't seen a tease on SmackDown since Tom said it was a glitch on last Monday Night Raw? I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I mean, talking about the Wyatt 6 is very difficult because we don't have much to actually work off, do we? I mean, Wyatt 6-wise, we are just waiting for them to return. I mean, I didn't know if that glitch was a thing or not. I know that people feel like they found the word Alexa in there. I can see that. But, you know, it's one of those where that could be coincidental. It might mean nothing. It could be that there was some artist called Alexa, whoever, that was going to be playing, and so that's why it's kind of in there. You know, maybe that those words are there and they change them when the graphic changes behind or something. I have absolutely no idea. I mean, it really could be something. It could be nothing, but I think everything's on the table. I think everything's on the table. I go into tomorrow very interested to see if there will be another glitch. I go into tomorrow very interested if there will be any follow-up to that glitch last week. I'm open to the idea of it being something, but I have not got excited about it being something because it was not clear enough to me for me to go, oh my God, we're back, you know? There was enough doubt around it for me to go, I don't know. I'm interested to see where that goes. I kind of could see it being something, but I can equally see it not being something. So there was nothing on Friday, which is the show they apparently got drafted to. So it's going to be all eyes tomorrow, isn't it? Vikings Wolf, shout out to you. This is a good question. I was waiting for this one, actually. So, Vikings Wolf said, how do we feel about the Karrion documentary? And I got some thoughts on the Karrion documentary. I didn't massively rate it, right? And that's going to be quite a surprise because I've had a lot of people getting in touch going, oh my God, have you seen it? It's incredible, right? I was like, I haven't seen it yet. I'll watch it. I watched it earlier today. I'd give it a 6 out of 10, right? I think that his promo on Sam Roberts was amazing, 10 out of 10. And I was expecting the documentary to kind of really expand on that. And it sort of does, but in a way that I was not really looking for. So in regards to the documentary, it's definitely worth a watch. Definitely watch it, because my opinion may not be your opinion, okay? But I watched it going in as someone... I think what I wanted to see from the documentary is I wanted to see where his head was at, and I got that from it. But I wanted to see, I suppose, what he was working on, what he was kind of planning, some of the ideas that he was thinking of doing that he kind of abandoned, or, you know, I knew there would be frustration in there because he wasn't on the WrestleMania card. But I don't know, I went into it, I suppose, open to, you know, what Easter eggs would be in there. There may be Easter eggs that I didn't pick up on, but I was sort of open to, I don't know, perhaps my expectation was too high. I was kind of open to expanding on that Raw recap promo, and I just didn't feel like anything really hit anywhere close to that level. So there's 2 key moments in the documentary for me. The first key moment is at the very end, which is the Sam Raw recap. That's really what the documentary builds to, is the Raw recap where he's like, Bill Goldberg told me to be a good soldier, you know? And it's a big viral moment. You're seeing the build up towards that moment, right? The other big moment in there for me was him rupturing his eardrum and them trying to repair that. Apparently he ruptured it in the match with AJ. And they show him, like, in a hospital, doctors, actually getting it sorted. And apparently he, like, passes out from the pain. And, like, his whole body starts sweating. And they're putting, like, paper towels on him to try and he's apologizing for it. He's like, I'm really sorry. That was out of my control. And they're like, don't worry about it. There's no problems. So, like, you can sort of see what he's going through physically. And it was really... That was really interesting. But the bulk of the documentary is him talking to his friend. And I found Karrion to be very lost. I found him to be very frustrated. I found him to be in Vegas whilst WrestleMania is happening, not being on the card and looking for answers, trying to find the way forwards, trying to figure out where to go. And there's even a moment in the documentary where he says, I feel like they were booing when I got eliminated from the Battle Royal. I feel like there's a movement, but it feels so fragile. I don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose it. And I thought that was a nice comment. I thought that was a good moment. But honestly, the bulk of the documentary, at least 10, 15 minutes of a 40-odd minute documentary, maybe even 20 minutes, I didn't look at the exact time, is him in his hotel room talking to his friend, looking for these answers. And his friend is just reassuring him, like, you wouldn't be in this position a few years ago. Bloodsport was massive for you before. You know, he's just giving him, like, reassurances, and he's just sort of, like, giving him words of encouragement. But what Karrion is looking for is answers. And I think he's not getting that from the support around him. He's not getting the answers that he needs. And I thought that was interesting, but the story of the documentary is Karrion being lost, looking for answers, getting frustrated, leading to the Raw recap moment. If you've seen the Raw recap moment, you've seen the best part of the documentary, in my opinion. The only other thing that's really interesting is him with his ruptured eardrum. So I sort of watched it, didn't really get anything new from it. And as a result, I was like, that did not hit the way I thought it was going to hit. It's just given a little bit more context, a bit more backstory. It's just kind of shown me how we got to the Raw recap thing, which, to be honest with you, yeah, he's frustrated. I got that from the Raw recap thing. Yeah, he wants to be on the WrestleMania cards. I know that. I don't know. I feel like, imagine a movie that builds to a big climax, and for some reason that big climax is all over social media, the big kind of finale, and then you go to the cinema to watch the movie, and the rest of it is just a bit slow, a bit plodding. There's not really anything there to really pull out. It's just kind of confirming all the things you thought anyway, and then you just get to watch that big climax again. That, to me, was the documentary. So it didn't really hit me the way I thought it was going to. I would still give it a 6. I think that it's worth a watch. I think that there are clearly people that have got different opinions than I've got. There's people that I think would go, oh my God, that's amazing, it's 10 out of 10. Maybe they didn't see the Raw recap thing. Perhaps if you're seeing that for the first time, I mean, yes, it was amazing. So if you're seeing that for the first time, but that thing had been all over social media, that Raw recap interview. We've spoken at length about the whole good soldier thing. So for me, yeah, didn't quite do it. I mean, what he needs to do is what he is doing. It's just it hasn't kind of kicked on this year. So last year was big for him because of the Wyatt 6 feuds, and he was able to get messages out, and he was able to show and get a lot of attention. But because he's not really had a feud this year, there's not really a message he can send out about anyone, because he's kind of done a little summit with Sammy, and then Sammy went away. Then he was starting to do a little summit with AJ, but AJ was actually in a feud with Logan. So, I mean, he couldn't really get his teeth into that, but maybe he should have. Maybe, I mean, he needs to turn up that dial on social media even more. Writing a book is fine, but only so many people are going to read it. Doing a documentary is fine, 40-odd, 50-minute documentary. Only so many people are going to watch it, right? He needs short, impactful content. He needs TikTok. He needs Instagram. He needs YouTube Shorts. He needs passionate promos that keep him on the radar, that get everyone saying, why are they not using Karrion Kross? And that has started, but it's not grown in 2025 like I think it could have. And that, for me, is the work that he needs to be doing. Because if you're not getting TV time, then yes, you have to become undeniable. Well, becoming undeniable means that people are buying up your shirts. Well, his shirt has sold out, which is brilliant. That's great. That means there is a green shoot there. There are people interested. There is a following. People care. That's brilliant. But you got to water that. You got to grow that. That has got to grow. And so that's where, for me, the work's got to be done. I didn't see any of that being said. I just saw someone going, you're in such a good place. You'll find the right way forwards and all this kind of wishy-washy stuff. I actually found his friend to be very frustrating. I actually found his friend to be like, mate, you are just really bad at giving advice. Like, this is just wishy-washy. It doesn't mean anything. Like, he is not going to leave that conversation with any direction. None of his questions will have been answered. And it was that for the bulk of it. And then you get the frustrations bubbling over and you get to the Raw recap moment. So, yeah, those are my honest thoughts. I'd give it about a 6 out of 10. I think it's definitely worth watching. But, yeah, I wasn't in love with it as much as others. So, Vikings Wolf, shout out to you. David said, as a teacher, I have kids 8 to 3. That's plenty. Meltzer gets 5-star, foot in the mouth, his Tokyo Dome. Meltzer gets 5 stars, foot in mouth, his David, I don't even understand what that means. I'm picking up that you're not a fan. which I understand. You're certainly not alone in that. But I genuinely don't quite understand that. Aaron said, I would love Cena Punk Money in the Bank 16 years after 2011. So, yeah, you'd love for them to run that match back at Money in the Bank. I think they could, to be honest. I think they could run that back at I think they could run that back at Money in the Bank. I think they've got to do CM Punk this year. I don't mind if that match isn't SummerSlam, honestly. It doesn't have to be at Money in the Bank, but that is kind of where I suppose it should be, at that event. Cena, Punk at Money in the Bank for the title. Yeah, I'd be down for that, of course. And Lewis said, who are your favourite wrestlers of all time? Favourite wrestlers of all time? Yeah, I get asked this one quite a bit. I mean, Shawn, I think, is probably the best in-ring I ever saw. It's not too far ahead of Bret, but I think Bret was very dignified, did things the right way. Shawn had a lot more attitude, and that was just cooler in my book. So Bret is like Mr. Textbook. Bret is like, this is how you do things, yeah? I mean, really, you could just watch Bret matches, take out all his moves, and just put it in a textbook, and you've got this is Wrestling 101. But with Shawn, you've got attitude there. You've got him like walking out and away from matches, going off on the crowds, being cocky, being arrogant. That, for me, just puts him over Bret. But for many people, they've got Bret as their favourite, of course. Undertaker, I think, is the best gimmick of all time. So those are always my top two. I do have a real soft spot for Bruno. It's a weird one, but because like his matches are not something which people are going to ever find that interesting. But I think without Bruno, I don't know that you have WWE. I genuinely don't. I think that in the first 20 years of WWE, he holds the top title for 11. He's so important. And then when you find out his backstory about how he was bullied, and not only that, hiding in the mountains from the Nazis, and fearing for his life and almost dying, and coming to America for the American dream, and getting bullied at school, but then turn into like weights, bodybuilding, becoming a wrestler, and then going on to headline at Madison Square Garden like 170 odd times. I mean, to go from hiding in the mountains from the Nazis to headlining Madison Square Garden, I mean, you can't help but be inspired by that, surely. And he was loved, man. They didn't even give Ivan Koloff the belt when he got beaten the first time because they were worried there was going to be riots. So, yeah, I got a real soft spot for him, but it's a weird one because I can't sit and say that he was an amazing, oh my God, you need to watch this match, you need to watch that match. But still doesn't mean I can't, love the guy. So, yeah, that would be 3 for you. The other ones tend to change quite a bit, to be honest. I think, like, sometimes it can be... a Bret. Sometimes it can be a Eddie Guerrero. I mean, we don't talk about Eddie all that much, actually, but what a talent. He had that kind of cheeky attitude, that kind of Shawn Michaels vibe. He was also amazing in the ring. Kurt Angle as well. Again, who didn't love Kurt? Backlash has begun, by the way. But yeah, those are the two. They kind of changed, to be honest. But I feel like Shawn, Undertaker, Bruno are pretty much cemented up there. At the moment, I'm loving Ricky Starks, Trick Williams, Gunther. EO. EO's amazing right now. Really loving her. Mick Foley's on commentary. That joke didn't go down very well, did it? Mick Foley was like, did you hear that? It's the sound of people realizing I'm not the coach. Here's Matt Hardy. We're kicking things off. James said, I got so bored watching Collision last night that I turned it off halfway through and I went to bed. David said, I would love to hear what CM Punk's got to say about Cora Jade's. Well, he did put a little message out. It was something like Dream Chaser. Turn it to gold. That's what he said. So, obviously, he's going to be really annoyed, frustrated, disappointed. Here's Matt Hardy then. Days, did you see that we're going to get Canelo Crawford in September? I can't wait. It's clashing with SmackDown, so you probably won't stream it, said Asib. Yeah, probably not, to be honest. As much as I'd love to do that, I don't understand why they're doing it on Fridays. I really don't understand why they're putting them on like Fridays. I mean, that happened the other day as well, didn't it? Yeah, that is such a shame. If that was a Saturday, we'd be all over that. Days, they wear normal clothes, but they wear normal clothes, but when I'm out, I feel uncomfortable with them. I don't mind them doing their job, but I feel like it shouldn't be in the toilets. I don't think I've ever seen him in normal clothes in around Birmingham. So we're just having a look, seeing at WrestleMania 24. Yeah, there is going to be a lot of revenge matches. I think this show, I'm just looking now, but I think this is the one that's got Kane and Chavo on. That's a rematch as well from like WrestleMania 24. Yeah. That is on this show. So, Matt Hardy versus MVP. MVP with that United States Championship. Sign in the crowd says MVP only shoots air balls. The Backlash staging is a little strange. It's pretty basic stuff, to be honest with you, apart from those giant shrimp-like things. Okay, MVP is getting into the ring. This is for the United States Championship. And it's going to be MVP against Matt Hardy. Taker99 said, how can Triple H release talent by saying they are not training enough, but they are not being used properly? Do we think WWE will have Becky win the IC title after blasting the company? I don't think Becky blasting the company is any issue because she's blasting the social media team and she's, I believe, doing it in character. So I don't see that as any issue. I think it'd be very different if she was having a go at Triple H. But to be honest, even if she did that, she's a heel right now. So, you know, if there was any issues, she could just say, oh, I was just being a heel online, you know, and kind of dismiss it that way. I'm just having a go at wrestlers, having a go at the company, having a go at the fans, you know. I don't think there'd be any backlash if she was really to even have a go. It depends what she would say, of course. If she was to come out and say Triple H is incompetent, I mean it. You know, I'm not in character. You know, maybe there'd be backlash then, but no, her having a go at the social media team, there'll be no comeback from that. In regards to how can Triple H release talent saying they're not training enough? Well, again, I would go back to what Dave actually said. Listen to it rather than just reading the quote and see if that is what he said. I do think that, you know, there's going to be people that train harder than others. It might not be that they turn up and they just, like, you know, lounge around. It might be they put work in, but compared to some others that work that bit harder, perhaps there is some that were just a little bit lacking. The bottom line is this, isn't it? If you are someone that works hard really wants this, is going to go above and beyond, is showing improvement, has got a good attitudes, I don't see how they're going to let you go. I mean, in regards to Braun, I've heard he was let go because he was on a high wage and they weren't using him enough. So that's why he got let go. In regards to some of the others, I think their injuries caught up with them. But yeah, some of that NXT talent, maybe that was because of them not putting in the work as much as others. And to be honest, if you're on TV or not, it's irrelevant. Your job is that you are paid to be ready. You are paid to be, you know, ready to go whenever. So if you're a wrestler, then you've got to make sure that you're ready for when that opportunity comes along. And kind of, you know, if anyone is not putting in the work, if anything, you could make the argument you work harder, you know? You could make the argument that if you're sat on the bench, not playing the game, you got to get the manager's eye, haven't you? You got to show them what you're about. You got to show them why they should be taking a chance on you. Not working as hard is stupid. You should be working harder. Whilst everyone else is doing an hour in the gym, you do too. You know? I know it's not that simple. I know that a lot of the people on the shows work very hard. It's not about just trying to outdo each other. But, you know, it is about standing out. It is about, you know, becoming undeniable. That's just what we said about Karrion as well. Karrion's done some excellent work to make himself undeniable, but he's not there yet. You know, he's got a bit of a buzz, and the few shirts they have sold out. Well, you know, sell out the next lot. Sell out the lot after that. Like, get your Google searches up. Get a buzz created. Exactly what he did over WrestleMania weekend with that Raw recap thing is what he should have done. And selling out the shirts, brilliant. And getting boos because of him not being on the show, brilliant. Doing a documentary that we're now spending time talking about, brilliant. But you have to keep doing that. You have to keep growing that following. You have to keep being part of the conversation. It's not easy, but sometimes it's not meant to be easy. He's in a great position where, you know, he is a great talent. The fans love him. Fans see the talent there. And as long as he doesn't give them a reason to let him go and he stays hungry and he keeps putting in that work like what we're seeing, let's go. Yeah. I think the future's pretty good for Karrion, honestly, if he keeps doing what he's doing. Right now, we got MVP driving a knee down. Lee said, if Goldberg is having one more match, do you think it's John Cena? Well, Gunther would feel like the pick because they did tease a little something there before. So Gunther would feel like the pick. But can't rule out John Cena. I mean, that would be a pretty straightforward title defense for Cena. It's not the match I would look for. I don't know if people are really excited by Goldberg in 2025. I think that he's got a name. He's definitely worth using. He's looking to wrap up his career. But, yeah, I think Gunther. Surely Gunther gets past Pat. And then, you know, maybe we do Gunther Goldberg in the summer. And he just keeps winning. We just keep building up Gunther. Make him even more dangerous than he was before. I don't know why they had him tap out, though. I really don't know. Gunther tapping out thing. I don't know why they felt like that was the right way forwards. Right now, we got MVP in control. There was a time when MVP was looked at by a lot of people as a future world champion. Do you think they dropped the ball? Do you think you should do a Backlash 2006 watch long, says Bora? To be honest with you, I never got MVP. I never saw it. I never shared in the excitement for MVP. I can't say they dropped the ball particularly. I never really saw it. I think that he was. We spoke about MVP before. A lot of people said they liked him, but I don't know. I never saw it. There was always plenty of people ahead of him in the queue for me. So. Yeah, I mean, I am going to say they dropped the ball because there's enough people out there that liked him. but he never really resonated with me. I didn't really find his in-ring to be very captivating. I wasn't a fan of the gimmick. I never saw him as the MVP of the company, you know. MVP is, I suppose, in a way, a little bit like a Mr. Perfect type character. Like, I'm the guy. I'm the MVP. I just never felt that way about him. I never found him to be like this really amazing technical wrestler. I never found him to be the best at anything. He wasn't the best promo. He wasn't the best in-ring. It just felt like, he felt like a guy that needed a gimmick, and we gave him this gimmick. So, I don't know. Not for me. But yes for many. Many would say yes. David said, I was on a basketball bench all the time. My team said put him in to the coach. Then I accidentally passed the ball to the other team, and my team yelled, take him out, said David. Well, that's a bad day, isn't it, bud? Shots coming in here by Matt Hardy, and MVP goes down. Clothesline by Matt. Going over the other side. Did you see what Cora said about body shaming? Not only fans, but co-workers and bosses. Yeah, I did. The bosses thing is interesting, isn't it? I don't know exactly what is meant by that. Again, difficult, because there's two sides to every story, and obviously that is disappointing to hear, but it might not be anything to do with her boobs or anything. It might be, it might not have been. It might have been that, you know, they wanted us to kind of tone up a little bit more. That is a conversation we've had before. Think about Baron Corbin. You know, people were always kind of going off on his physique, saying, like, why doesn't he get toned a little bit more? Why doesn't he kind of, do you know what I mean? You always had a little bit around the stomach, little extra timber. And she never had that. I never saw that. But I wonder if there was comments of, like, you know, hit the weights a bit more, get a bit more tone, get a bit more size. Like, could it be that? I don't know. Again, two sides to every story. If it's that, I don't feel as bad about those comments. If it's to do with her breasts, which we know that she had surgery on, like got enhancements and whatever, implants, yeah, that's... Nah. There is an awkward truth, which is that obviously big boobs are going to be more eye-catching, for use of a better words. I would like to think those conversations are not had. I would like to think people aren't pulling young girls aside going, listen, if you get breast implants, it's going to help your career. The sad truth is that might be true. That might be true. But I hope those are not conversations in 2025 that are being had, you know? I hope they're not being had. It's very interesting that she got breast implants, and I think Kiana James did as well. And I hope it's not that. So I would enjoy some clarity on that. I'm not sure that's really something that you can put out there and just leave, you know? I don't think those kind of comments are the kind of comments you can just put out and not have people... Like, if she does Chris Van Vliet, I'm sure he'll ask for clarity on that. I would hope he would. If I was to interview her next week, that would be like one of my top questions. You know, you spoke about this. Would you mind just expanding on that a little bit more? What specifically what was referenced? Because I think there is like a big difference there between, can you get toned a little bit more? Can you, like, you know, put on a little bit more muscle? Or can you go and get breast implants? I mean, I feel like those, do you know what I mean? There's a big difference. And I don't know kind of where we are on that scale, so. Matt just gets back in, breaks the count. Asib said half the talent Triple H brought back, Dakota, Braun, Good Brothers, have been let go. Who do we blame, them or Triple H? Don't know, honestly. Without being behind the scenes, I don't know. I mean, I do think creative takes blame, and I think it's easier for fans to blame creative than blame the talent. I sort of feel like in this situation, and I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to be honest. In this situation, it's easier to blame WWE, isn't it? No one wants to see the wrestlers getting released. So it's easy to blame WWE, like they released them, they never used them right, blah, 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 blah. But in the real world, there are people that are very difficult to work with. And I'm not saying any of these were, okay? I'm not saying any of these were. Don't get that twisted. But I'm saying in the real world, you work with people, I'm sure, that are hard to work with. You work with people that don't pull their weight. I've worked in a lot of different shops in retail. I've worked with a lot of different people. I know for a fact these people are out there. Matt Hardy, get in. The 3 with a twist of fate. So I've worked with these people, and I have to think these people exist in the wrestling world as well. People that complain all the time. People that don't pull their weight. People that don't push themselves, you know? Don't go above and beyond. And I think those people exist in wrestling. And honestly, the standard in WWE is set very high. If you don't reach that standard, or you fall a little bit short in an area, then you might find yourself on a radar. So I can't comment about the recent releases. I can't comment about any releases. I don't know what these people are like behind the scenes. So I genuinely don't know. I can only judge what I see. And for example, someone like Karrion, I know how good he is in ring. I know how good of a promo he is. I know he is frustrated. And I feel he deserves better. And I can make that judgment by everything that I see. But I can't judge without seeing performance center training sessions and, you know, actually being there, what people's attitudes are like behind the scenes. So there's no way of knowing. Matt Hardy has regained the United States Championship. Island High Life said, I can't find it on YouTube or Netflix. It's on WWE Vault, my friend. We just had a title change. Match was okay. It was okay. I might call up Cage Match and see if they've actually got any scores. To be honest, these old shows probably are not going to have. Fatal 4-Way. Randy, Triple H, JBL, and John Cena. Who wins? It's great to see here JR and the King. This is probably a list of releases where they might go. AEW could get Cora Jade and Shayna. TNA could get Dakota, Metaphor and Dolan. NWA could get Braun and Gallus, and MLW could get Eddie Thorpe, says Hannah. Yeah, I think there'll be plenty of interest in some of those releases. Okay, so we got an interview with Matt. Nothing compares to this, says Matt. It's a good promo. It's a good promo. He said, this is the biggest win of my career, and it's the best day of my life. I only have one thing to say to you. I am better than you. And he goes walking away. I like that promo. Right, I can tell you that this show overall gets a 7.25. People are quite happy with it. The opening match there, 11 minutes 34. Over on Cage Match, It's only 30 votes. This is the bit where cage match like struggles, to be honest. I like cage match as a database, but if there was like thousands of users, it would be really good. But I mean, this opening match got 30 votes. How many votes we got? We've got 78. Whatever this is going to come out as is going to be more accurate than whatever cage match has got. Cage match have got 30 votes. We've got 79. ECW. So this is the Kane match, is it? Kane against Chavo. So obviously at WrestleMania there was an open... Well, it wasn't an open challenge. The winner of the Battle Royal would take on Chavo. Battle Royal winner was Kane. Kane then destroyed Chavo in very quick succession. So this is the rematch. Chavo, embarrassed at WrestleMania, wants his belt back. New Japan Dojo is in my neighborhood. I get to walk past their facility every time I walk my dog. Yesterday, I saw and shook hands with Rocky Romero. Wow, I've met over 20 wrestlers now. That's really cool. Long Beach Hippie, shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to you. Schmacker Frog said, Mania rematch. I've never seen this match. Goes a little longer. It's got a little more to it. I mean, not hard to believe, but... So, how many matches have we got tonight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 7 matches tonight. 7 matches. We've had one already. And that's for the United States title. This one for the ECW Championship. Big Time said someone like Ariana Grace needs to find her way back on TV. She's stuck doing backstage skits with her dad. I'm sure she's great at doing what she's asked, but she's got to do something. Yeah, it is. That is true. I mean, I think she suffered a really bad injury, to be honest. And so she's been out as a result. I think this is a good use of her, but you are correct. We've got to get going with her in-ring work. Here's Kane. Great entrance. Kane making his way down to the ring. This was low-key great music. Let's go. Yeah, great music. I haven't heard the Kane music in ages. Great music. Great belt. Boos for Chavo. Okay, let's end the first poll, shall we, for Matt against MVP. And that has come out as good 96. It's okay. Good 96 is okay. Love that belt as well, you know. That ECW championship. I hate the one that they turned it into. The WWE CW belt that came along. The replacement. Before it sucked. But that one, really nice. Okay, Chavo and Kane, we are underway. Lee said, how do we feel about Bron Breakker beating Cena? Seth turns heel on Bron and Bron face. Seth wins Rumble and we have Seth Bron at WrestleMania for the title. I'm not crazy about it. I feel like Bron was still building. I sort of feel like Bron could probably do with a pretty lengthy World Heavyweight Championship run first. Bron came up from NXT. I'm going to say something a little controversial. I don't get the same aura from Bron as I do Brock Lesnar. And it really feels like they're trying to make Braun the next, like, Brock Lesnar. You know, you've got Heyman with him, and he's kind of, like, trying to calm him down, like, settle down. I mean, he hits the ropes fast. He's got a great spear. He's a really good talent, but we're building him. That aura is still a little in its developmental stage, let's put it that way. I think it's his size. I wish he was just another few inches taller. Just, you know what I mean? I wish we could just a little bit more, make him a bit more bigger. He's jacked. He's a great wrestler. He's got an aura. I'm not saying he hasn't got an aura, but I'm saying, has he got a WrestleMania main event Brock Lesnar type aura? Not for me. Not yet. I think he could get there. I think he could continue to develop this aura. Him being with Heyman and Seth is obviously fantastic, but I don't know. I'm in the camp that, like, him main event in next year's Mania is too soon. Too soon. I want him to have a World Heavyweight Championship run, a good Heavyweight Championship run, and then look to progress him to the WWE Championship. So that would be my approach. But I just feel like his aura it's there, but it's still small. It needs growing. It's fragile. There's potential. He gets caught by... Chavo gets caught by Kane, driven into the edge of the ring. And Long Beach Hippie, shout out to you, but appreciate the support. I wish he was taller. I wish he was a baller, said Frankie. I'm all right with him being a wrestler. That's a tune, though, by the way. Did we know people call Tongaloa Botchaloa? He's got nothing on Del Rio. You should see a clip of his last match in AAA. It's embarrassing, says James. James, shout out to you. Double axe handle. Schmack Frog said, Braun's cool, but his name is corny. Breaker. Did Triple H's daughter name him? They need to change the name. Sounds like a 5-year-old name, Braun Breaker. You don't like it? A lot of people said that he should have been Steiner, but he said that he wanted to be his own person. I don't mind the Braun Breaker name. I don't mind it. I don't hate it. I think it could be changed. I don't feel like a love for it. I don't have an emotional connection to it. Yeah, I understand why he didn't want to go with Steiner. I understand he wanted to, like, make his own name. And, well, they're doing a good job, you know. I think you can't really fault how they've booked him so far. And I do think that he will get there. I can see him. I can see him being World Heavyweight Champion. I can see him main event in Night 2. I think, depending on how that goes, will unlock WWE Champion and Night. I can see him main event in Night 1, sorry. Depending on how that goes, it will then obviously unlock Night 2 and WWE Championship. So, yeah, they clearly want him to get there. I suppose in a way, I don't feel the same about him as I do Jacob. Jacob's aura feels bigger to me than Braun Breaker's. That's an interesting conversation, isn't it? Talking about, like, future stars and who's got a bigger aura. I feel like Jacob's aura is bigger than Braun's. Even now with Braun being with Heyman, I feel like Jacob's is bigger. But I tell you what, I would take Braun against Jacob. I'd take that match. Imagine booking that at, say, SummerSlam or something like that. I mean, I don't know how you'd get there. They're both heels. So I don't know how you'd get there, but I'll definitely take that match in the future. Chavo I tell you what, he's putting in a good effort here, Chavo, isn't he? As we said, this match, of course, going longer than what we saw at WrestleMania. But thanks to some outside interference, Chavo is very much in control. He's on the shoulders of Kane, but this might not go well. He's in an electric chair. And he gets planted. There's a sign in the crowd. WWE rocks my socks, which is a sign that could be used today thanks to Roxanne Perez. There we go. Kane with an electric chair. Chavo is actually the first to get back up on his feet, though. Kane still down. Chavo going over quite tentatively. But, of course, Kane playing possum. Big boots. Chavo down. Kane looking to come over. Collides into Chavo. Kane again charging him. Boom. Colliding into Chavo. Gets him. Bang. Surely 2. Kick out. So, lovely. Lovely just like grabbed him. One-armed. Bang. Picked him. Chucked him down. Scoops him up on the shoulder. No joy. Chavo going back against the ropes. Big back body drop. Big air, and Kane going up top. He's in the corner. Oh, my God. Yeah. Whenever Kane went up top, it was never the most attractive thing in the world. And you can certainly add that to the collection. Sign in the crowd says, all hail. I think, was it William Regal? Chavo going up in the corner. Crowd are quite invested. Yeah, lovely show of strength there by Kane, catching him mid-air. Bang. Gets planted, though, to shoulder up. Yeah, crowd are making some noise here. We got a little bit of energy around. I'm down for this. Odyssey said The Rock's got a bigger aura than Jacob and Solo. Oh, of course. Of course he does. The Rock's also got a flipping 30-year career behind him. And a movie career and one of the biggest social media followings in the world. Of course he does. But, that is obviously the level that you want to get to. I mean, people aren't going to necessarily get to that level, but that's the yardstick, isn't it? People would love to have that aura. But where considering Jacob's been in, less than a year? I think he arrived after Mania, didn't he? I don't know the exact date. Bron Breakker has probably been on the main roster. I don't know when he got called up. Was that last year? They're both in great places. Boom. Frog Splash connects. Oh, lovely work by Kane. Grabbing Chavo into the choke slam. Planted. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Kane getting the victory. That match going longer than I remembered. Going much longer than I remembered. And I don't hate the match either. It's pretty fun. Crowd applaud him. Landed right into a choke slam. Kane's music is so good. I sort of wish that this era of Kane was not like end of the road Kane, you know? Yeah, there we go. Kane on the entranceway, holding up that championship. Get your votes in for that match. Hello, here's Randy, WWE champion at this point. I've been through a lot of adversity. It's So the WWE Championship, the Spinner Championship. Some people liked it. Some people like being kicked in the balls, though, don't they? Kane was amazing. He should have held more world titles, even though he didn't need it for his character, said Chaos Theory. Backlash had a rare moment where the title has altered hands, as usually the new title holder from Mania defends and keeps it. Hardy and MVP had feuded for a year to the event. It was a long feud, says Hannah. Leanne, shout out to you, said, I'm in a very nice hotel. Ooh. I got some beer and I'm watching with some friends. Wow, that's amazing. Shout out to you, my friend. Look at this. Big show. Great dream match. Dream match. Great Khali. Big show. Let's go. Whenever the Great Khali's on the show, you know it's gonna be good. The Punjabi Playboy. Yes. Go on, King. And you can't teach that. Let's go. Look at him. He's like a cat with 4 broken legs. Great Khali against Big Show. This is why we're all wrestling fans. Sounds like an orgy, says what? Great Khali, Big Show. That sounds like an orgy to you. We have very different fantasies, you and me, James. Very different. There we go. James likes them big. Days, I've got Logan winning Money in the Bank. I did have Dominic till he won at Mania, but I think it's more likely that Logan wins. I would love it to be Kross or Sammy or maybe Cody. Here's Great Khali. Right, Big Show about to come down. Whoa. Great Khali, says Kader. He's loved in India. Absolutely loved. Don't know what that delay was for. But the Great Khali sucks. He can't wrestle, said Steven. Here's Big Show. Look at that. There's a dude in the crowd that's got, like, candy floss. You just don't see that anymore, do you? I wonder why. Why don't you see that anymore? Lots of cameras in the crowd as well. Have you noticed? Lots of cameras. Lots of people, like, with their digital cameras. I wonder when good quality camera phones were really taking over. It doesn't appear to be quite at this stage. It's a lot of flashes. I don't predict a night of short arm head scissors and headlocks. Great Khali is maybe a touch taller than Big Show. Yeah, look at the cameras in the flipping backgrounds. The crowd should be chanting "Fight Forever" right now. Fight forever. Fight forever. Big Show, yeah, he is, isn't he? He's just that touch taller. I mean, Great Khali is kind of got his head back a little bit, but no, he just is that little bit taller. Big Show's even got some, like, lifts in his boots, you know. If you look at the back of his boots, there's quite a heel there. Not so much on Great Khali's. Big Show going back against the ropes. Right hands. Right hand coming back by Great Khali. These two exchanging blows. There's the candy floss in the background in the crowds. I don't know why we don't do that anymore. I don't know why that stopped being a thing. Big Show with a headbutt. Great Khali rocks back a little bit. These two throwing in shots, throwing in chops now. Chop coming back there by Great Khali. Clothesline. Big Show is down. Great Khali looking out at the crowds. Great Khali puts he just sort of looked around. It was like, even in the crowd, there's a sign that says Khali can't wrestle. We knew then. We know now. Beast on beast brutality, said Zoom Station. Chaos Theory said Braun was moving like the white Khali before he got released. I just don't think he can move well anymore, said Chaos Theory. The 35th Wonder of the World against the 67th Wonder of the World, said Smacker Frog. So we got Big Show back in the corner. Kick coming in there by Big Show. Headbutt there by Big Show. He's looking to try and... big clubbing blow to the back. Daze is very invested. I am very invested in this. Do you know, I think the thing is, when you've got other matches, like Kane, Chavo, whatever, you kind of know what you're going to get. I know what I'm going to get in this match, and it's going to be a car crash. And I just want to see how... I can't remember how great of a car crash it is. So I am very invested. There is something to be said for these kind of attractions, you know, these kinds of matches. You know they're going to suck, but they are very watchable. Big boot there by Great Khali. Big Show down. Okay, actually, that second match, you know, you lot said was good 99. You enjoyed Kane Chavo a little bit more. An elbow coming in there by the Great Khali. A crossface? A flipping crossface? I mean, there's an attempt at wrestling here, isn't there? Big Show, I mean, it is weird, actually, to see Big Show getting, like, dropped and put in crossfaces and sort of, not manhandled. He's not quite being manhandled, but... Big Show down, shaking his head, trying to get back up to his feet. Mick Foley said, I'm not sure I recognize that look in Big Show's eyes. Big Show back up, shot. Ooh. Shot to the midsection. He had Khali no-sold that first shot. He tried to pick up Khali, but he couldn't. Khali lands on top of him, shoulder up there by Big Show. Crowds are booing. Big Show looking out at the fans. Right now, Khali is waiting for Big Show to get to his feet. He applies that nerve hold. So the nerve hold applied by Khali. Big Show being kept grounded. It's good, actually, by Mick Foley because he's a wrestler, of course. So this nerve hold is able to really explain, because you know this doesn't hurt, right? It's not really being applied. But, you know, Mick Foley's able to say that is going to send a numbing sensation all the way down the arm of the Big Show. But even so, Big Show getting up to his feet, elbow coming into the midsection. And again... breaks the hold with Great Khali. Headbutt coming in there by Big Show, going back against the ropes. Big chop, big show down. Khali going for the pin. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Cringe12 said, how are you doing, Dave? Hello, Dave. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to you, buds. Hope you enjoyed WrestleMania. Yeah, he's going for that great Khali. Very much in control here. Pulling back on the arms. And again, like rotating those arms around as well. I bet legit there is some pain to that, you know. Depends how far back is. Like, yeah, I bet that does. I bet that is uncomfortable. Big Show though, getting back up to his feet. Gotta tell you, man, Big Show working hard at selling for the great Khali here. Big Show has done a really good job of making the great Khali's offense look legitimately like it's got some sting to it. Slams down the great Khali. Going for the cover. 1, 2. Just kicks out. Just kicks out. With a few body tats, Khali could have been the OG tribal chief. He's already got a tan hair and Roman gear, said Johnny. Do you know what? Legit, you make a good point. Could you imagine if Khali could actually move well, wrestle, talk properly, like, when I say talk properly, you know what I mean? Like, in English, communicate to a Western audience, promo, like, have a good delivery. Imagine if all of that was in place. Gods. Right now is got like a stranglehold there. I mean, that's not legal. Big Show breaks it. Looking to choke slam. Plants him. 1, 2. He wins it with a choke slam. And it's a win for Big Show. Do you know what? I went into that like, I need to watch this disaster. And I don't think that was a disaster. I don't think it was amazing, but that was pretty fun. So there we go. Big Show holding onto his arm, doing a little bit of selling, getting the victory over the great Khali. That's a good line by Mick Foley. That is not the look of a winner. That is the look of a survivor. Big Show got a well-deserved win, said Davids. It was much better than I remembered, said Dr. Lucha Lala. Jamie said, it's more just okay than good, though. It's not disaster. We saw a great Khali match that wasn't a disaster. If anyone goes, great Khali was awful, he couldn't wrestle, I might go, there was at least one match that was passable. I'm telling you, there was at least one match that bordered on being acceptable. Here we go, John Cena. I love that Cena shirt. That was always one of my favourite Cena shirts. He's backstage with Jimmy. Here's Randy. Look at this. Look at this, Randy and Cena. A victory tonight for you won't happen. You're going to go home disappointed. Ah, Randy. Win, lose, or draw, you'll go home a broken man. I think this was a pretty good backlash for them to choose, for us to enjoy. So there we go. John Cena sending a message to Randy Orton there. Whatever happens tonight, you will go home a broken man. That's going to be our main event. It's a fatal four-way. Randy, Triple H, JBL, John Cena. Very good. William, hello. Shout out to you. I hope you're well. I always wanted to be a golf heckler. It's good to dream big, isn't it? It's good to dream big. James said that's way better than Omega Okada in the Tokyo Dome. Facts. Facts. Is it Shawn Batista now? With Jericho as special guest ref. Okay. I feel like we are starting to get to the bigger matches now. I mean, clearly, physically, we just had a big match, but... Brilliant, wasn't it? Here's Batista. He didn't have closure. So good, and it's a good story, isn't it? It's a good story. I trusted you to do the right thing. Shawn Michaels. And Jericho getting involved, and so good. 2008 was not bad. Not bad at all. Bang. Yeah, man, let's go. Baby Cena, baby Orton, says Dave. They did look... Orton in particular looks really young, doesn't he, there? Never forget Sean's words to Flair. I'm sorry, them are ugly shoes. Gets you right there, doesn't it, Robbo? Gets you right there. I don't think we've had a video package, have we? Have we? I certainly don't remember one this grand up until this point. Shawn Michaels, Batista. Let's end the poll. You lot didn't go all time, which is disappointing, to be honest, but probably fair. So, good 93 for Great Khali, Big Show. Okay, here's Jericho. Oh, God, I've missed this music. I've missed this music. I'm not used to Jericho coming out and it not being flipping Judas. I don't even know what it is right now. He might have changed it. What's that? Yes. 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 Refico. Here, it's Chris Refico. Jericho had a banger, said Ace. When? Well, he's had many, but How big excited were we in 2008 seeing wrestling? When I grew up, I enjoyed whatever year it was. Looking back, I thought it was average due to PG starting. Well, I mean, the thing with wrestling for me was that it was a storyline. And I actually thought there was some really good storylines around this year. So 2008, it didn't really bother me about, like, you know, us going into a PG era, as long as the stories are good. I think, honestly, I come from it from a different perspective, because when I got into wrestling, it was early stages, new generation, wasn't it? And like golden era. And I think if you got into wrestling in the Attitude Era and you loved it for its attitude, and then it changed to PG, I understand. But I got into it before Attitude Era. So for me, it was PG. Attitude Era was an exception. This was still way edgier than what I grew up with. I grew up with clowns. Yeah. Clowns. Bin men. A man that was dressed as an atomic bomb. A monk. Yeah. So this is still way edgier than that. It's interesting. It's perspectives, isn't it? Batista. He looks nothing like this now, does he? He looks flipping like he does poetry evenings. He's lost a lot of size, and the way he like wears berets and shades and scarves, and he looks like he's in a beatnik band. I'd never say that to his face. But I will say it on the internet. This is a jam as well, isn't it? Do you know, the big thing I'm taking away from 2008 is just how much I had forgotten how great the theme songs are. I know how great they are, and we talk about, oh, well, such and such, you know, DX had a great song, Batista had a great song, you know, Shawn's got a great theme. Like, we talk about it, but when you actually listen and you go, oh, yeah, that's how it hits. That's how you go, oh, that's good. Modern music sucks. You know it. I know it. I'm not saying anything no one knows. I'm not proud of saying that statement. It's so flipping obvious. But oh my God, I so enjoyed Batista's music and Kane's music and Shawn. Oh my God, I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. Oh wow! Look at him! Look at him! Amazing. Just a sexy boy. Sexy boy. If wrestling is an art, then flipping Da Vinci has just come walking down the ring. Picasso has arrived. I mean, we just had to watch Great Khali. That's normally like finger painting. Boy, put the animal down. Just before the end of this match, Shawn should say, "I'm sorry. I don't really rate you." He could have had a message for all of his opponents, couldn't he, after the Ric Flair thing? I'm sorry. You suck. Bang! The showstopper will be stopped. Hands off the merchandise, said K-Dub. Days, come on now. We all know that Def Rebel is goated. Goated for being effing terrible. It's true, innit? They do suck. Yeah, I hope you're watching, Def Rebel. You suck. I do feel a little sorry for them. Look at me with all the sympathy for people that are hated. But I do feel a little sorry for them because I do think they have to make a lot of themes. If you think about all the people in NXT and when music changes on the main roster, people getting called up, and just so many themes that have to be made. I would imagine like it's just you make music and it's just, it is quite generic, but it's generic because they have to make so much. I don't know that they sit down and like, right, we've got this person coming in. What do we know? A lot of them are like nobodies in NXT. Do you know what I mean? You have to make music for people on Evolve. I mean, they don't even know their characters. So how is the person making the music meant to know their characters? I think they just go, let's do a pop number, let's do a rock number, let's do this, let's do that. And it is generic. And then WWE are like, well, we want to go a little bit like girly girl with that one. So have you got anything like, you know, Sabrina Carpenter or whatever? We want to go like badass attitude. You got anything metal? And I think they've literally just got all these pieces and they just go, yeah. But it's not, it doesn't really, like, I don't know. Is the pieces of music just even still not good enough? Even with that as an explanation, is it that their pieces of music are still just not good enough? However, whatever the issue, it's got to get resolved. Shawn getting back in the ring. Batista with the black eye already. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know how he got that. It's not in this match. I think he showed it. I saw it just before the match started. Kicks coming in, not great by Shawn. Those kicks didn't look brilliant. Getting put into the corner by Batista. Referee coming in, trying to separate Batista and Shawn. Jericho trying to get involved. Jericho will quite happily get hands-on in there, of course. Over in the corner. Bah! Heavy collision there by Batista. Batista standing on the throat of Shawn. Putting all that weight down. Ugh. Oh, yeah, it's worth mentioning as well to the members, all the members. If you are going to be in a tag team and play that game on Tuesday, have you entered? Have you got your team in? I need to get that closed tonight so that I know what I'm doing on Tuesday. Make sure I've got a game ready for it. And also, everyone, have you voted for the Hall of Fame? We're going to announce the winner. That is up right now. You can vote who goes into our Community Hall of Fame. There's quite a few things going on at the moment, isn't there? It's busy at the moment. Batista trying to get out of this this hold, but Shawn throwing in some shots. Asib said, this shows the standard in WWE has fallen. Shawn, Batista in the mid-card. Now we watch Knight and Damian in a mid-card, said Asib. Well, yeah. I mean, it is true that these legends were obviously around at in the mid-card at this point, but I don't know. We've still got a lot of big names around, you know. You've still got, like, Rey Mysterio. You got Punk. You got Seth. We're trying to build up Braun. Got Roman. We got Cena. We got Cody. I mean, you can't use all of those names at the top of the card. Some of those are going to have to go into a mid-card match, aren't they? There's a lot of decent names that are around now, but yeah, I agree. We were coming out of Attitude Era, so we still had like a lot of the big names as we like. How long is this? Like 6 years after Attitude Era, so there were still names around from the Attitude Era. Kane, Undertaker, Triple H, yeah, Jericho, but we had added as well. You know, we'd added an Orton, we'd added a Cena, we'd added a Batista. You know, we'd added those names. So it was a pretty good time, to be honest. I really like this time period. I like this time period because I really like Shawn at this time. I think this is Shawn's best work. I take this run over his 90s run. This is my favourite period for Shawn. I think that break and finding himself and all of that had done him the world of good. Batista going into the ring posts. We still had, as we said, some big names around, and we'd added some massive names also. Boom, straight into that ring post. I tell you, if you want to criticize NXT, I suppose you can say they are producing talent and really good talent, but they're, you know, we haven't produced a John Cena, or we haven't produced, I suppose we produced Roman and Seth, but I don't know, like, that was a long time ago. You know, they came through like 2012 on the main roster. That was 13 years ago. It's a long time ago. So, and they're still the top two guys. And Cody. I mean, really, the top guys are Punk, Cody, Roman, Seth. And it's like, you know, where's that next wave? Where's that next Roman? Where's that next Seth? I mean, if it's Braun, he's only been on the roster like a year. Kevin and Sammy filled out the roster, but they never made it to be in like the top consistent WrestleMania main eventers. Finn Balor never got to that level either. Shinsuke never got to that level. Samoa Joe ended up leaving. Certainly, if you look at the talent that was around 2015, 2016, it never really massively kicked on. It filled out the roster and did a great job. But, yeah, it's an interesting conversation, that. Are we seeing that talent improve now, though? Is Oba going to be that level? Is Trick going to be that level? Is Braun going to be that level? Shawn standing on the ankle of Batista. Working on the arm. OVW, NXT. Would you say the talent now have way more to be successful more than back then? Well, there's more now. There's more people being produced. And I don't know that we've really seen Next in Line show yet. I think Next in Line has produced some good talent, but I think it's still very early. I think they've got the right idea, though. Get some of those athletes that are big, that maybe aren't thinking of wrestling, and you know, make them think of wrestling. Next in Line, I think, gave us Trick Williams, gave us, I think, Obafemi as well. Kalani Jordan, Tiffany Stratton. It's done well for the women, but I don't think we've felt the Next in Line impact yet for the men. I think over the next few years we will, and I think that's going to be a big moment when we do. So yeah, I would say like NXT's done a fantastic job. I mean, it's you don't want to criticize it too much, but that's an area I would say is it's one of those, isn't it? Talent like a John Cena or Randy, they don't come across that often. You don't find talent like that all the time. They are special. But that's what WWE have got to do. They've got to find the next John Cena, the next Randy Orton. They found him in Roman and Seth. But as we said, that's like 13 years ago now. Enzo Amore said Taker 1990. Well, look how that worked out. Chop coming in by Shawn. Gunther, Braun are those two. They seem to be going in that direction, as top guys said, Dr. Lucha Lala. Yeah, definitely they got high hopes for Braun. Gunther's a really good shout, actually. Gunther's a really good shout. I would still say, though, I mean, how long's he been on the main roster? 2-3 years? Braun's been on about a year. I feel like where were they in 2019, 2020? Where was that wave? Where was the people then? Not a bad little match this, you know. Lovely clothesline there by Batista, turning Shawn inside out. In some more interesting tidbits, in 2008, P.S. Hayes was involved in drama about race remarks. Angle and Sid were in talks to return. Hoss was ribbed to be involved in a Vince segment after Vince said he was boring. Up on the shoulders, plant in Shawn. Jericho, 1, 2. Kick out by Shawn, but only just. Only just. Javon Evans could be like the next Shawn Michaels, said Zoom Station. Well, I hope so. I hope so. Nothing but love for Javon. Yeah, I mean, there's a great wave of talent that's there. Oh, nice takedown there by Shawn, and he gets Batista down. Crossface is in. The cameras are out. Flash, 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 flash. Batista down. And right now we got Shawn pulling back. Tearing at the shoulder. One can almost feel the pain, says JR. Batista trying to get over to the ropes. I feel like Batista could sell that a little more, actually. Shawn Michaels, though, all over him, trying to go for the pin. And shoulder up there by Batista, but reapplied. Brilliant. Brilliant. And again, it's in. Jericho is right there. It's still in. He's pulling back on it. It's still in. Jericho's been really fair up to this point. Batista trying to get over, trying to get to the ropes. He's reaching out for it again. Shawn did... Oh, and he's got there this time. Jericho's right there. He comes over. He tells Shawn to break it. He grabs Shawn. A little bit OTT from Jericho. Shawn Michaels looking up at Jericho. Shawn going over to Batista. He's trying to go back to that arm. Batista, though, back up on his feet. Picking up Shawn. Planting him. Going for the pin. 2. Oh. Shoulder up just. Sign in the crowd says, Heart Kids. I love the Heart Kids. My favourite wrestler. Gets ropes over the other side. Oh, collides into Batista. Batista down. Kip up. Boom. And, not the greatest spear, but just... That probably should have put Shawn away, actually. Shawn has been really struggling to kick out. Even a messy spear like that probably should have ended it, but Shawn digging deep. Bang. Shawn in the corner. Shawn's selling was always so incredible. You just always felt like he was... I see a lot of that in Sammy. You always feel like he is like really beat up. Shots coming in there by Shawn. Throwing away at Batista. Pushing Batista back. Batista down. Shawn going up. Perched. Elbow. Connects. Crowd getting invested. Batista still down. Do you think we'll ever get Ospreay in WWE, considering he and Triple H had a few altercations? Yeah, I don't think that's a problem, to be honest. I think that stuff gets said, and we know that in the wrestling world moves on, and, you know, it doesn't really matter. Went for Sweet Chin. Spine buster! It's really like if AEW fails and falls apart, or yet, like, you know, Ospreay has a falling out with Tony or whatever, then of course he's going to have a decision to make, isn't he? Because I'm sure WWE would be interested. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. But it's just about can Ospreay overcome the kind of feelings that he's got for Triple H and WWE. I mean, if not, then that door's closed, isn't it? I don't think WWE would be the problem in that. I think it would come down to Ospreay. Jericho coming in, pushing Batista back. You got to do what's right for you, haven't you? And if Ospreay doesn't think WWE is right for him, then so be it. Super kick there by Shawn. Out of nowhere. 1, 2. And he gets it. That's a pretty fun end, isn't it? James said Ospreay won't be in WWE. He doesn't want to move and live in America. Good little finish to that match. Thunder Rosa is cooking in her underwear, said Oration Mind. What's she doing that for? What, like on her channel? Is that how we're getting views these days? Should I do that? I do a very good microwave curry. Okay, Shawn going out the ring. It felt a bit flat, though, the ending, said Jamie. I didn't mind it, honestly. I mean, I know that it's not like the most epic of finishes, but I think Batista is huge, credible. I think it was going to need some out of nowhere. It was going to need a bit of a... What? I mean, Batista basically just walked into Sweet Chin Music. I can believe that that would put him away. But how do you throw it out of nowhere? You got to do a little something. No, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. There, here we go. Shawn is being helped by Chris Jericho. Shawn's injured. Look, he's asking them, can you tell them to move out the way? Ah, here we go. Another ref just come in to the aid. There we go. We got another ref just help him. Boy. Just seeing a replay. Days, what were the thoughts on the McMahon $1 million segments where he gave away a lot of money? Apparently he was rickrolled, but then the set crashed down, making the segment done for. It was a ratings grab. The ratings were not very good. The ratings weren't very good, and so they decided to get Mr. McMahon giving away a load of money. And there's Triple H backstage. So they decided to have him give away a load of money. And yeah, I mean, he was calling up people and someone answering. But the whole thing was a mess. It was a mess because you'd call up and say you're through. Like, I think you had to say a phrase or something or answer a question. You will not succeed, Randy. I will leave you broken, battered, beaten. He's not even looking at him. Look at the shade. Pride comes before the fall. Right, get your votes in for that last match. What did you think about Batista HBK? Here's Lillian. I'm sure we're going to follow up that absolute banger with something just as banger-licious. Well, talking of bangers. Let's go, Kings. Let's go. It is a 12 Diva tag match. Beth, Melina, Victoria. Layla's up there. Jillian. We got 12 Diva match. I mean, I do look back at matches like this and go, well, at least we're not doing this anymore. Beth Phoenix. Oh, lovely. Beans on Toast is good, said Cringe-Wolf. Oh, yeah. Oh, top tier. I forgot about the Vince giveaway, said Ace. Yeah, it was just a ratings grab. It was a ratings grab. It ran for a few weeks, and there was people that weren't answering. There was also people that would answer, and Vince would be like, well done, you've won 10 grand. And then the next person, he'd be like, you've won $500. And it was just like, what? And it was just like completely random, like how much he was giving away. And he was giving away $1 million in total. And he would be there with the money, and, you know, then it'd be like, come back next week. We'll see who else is going to be a winner. And it was just a way of like, please watch. Some of you can win some money if you watch. Please watch. But yeah, they had to get out of it, didn't they? I mean, they had to find a way of ending it. And so they ended it with the set falling on him. And they kind of went with that approach. So it sort of sucked. Right. 12 Diva tag match coming up then. Nothing screams important match more than everyone coming out together, said Leaping Lucha Larry. That's true. I saw the HBK retirement match 2 years ago. Imagine that, said AB Jobson. Let's get some puppies sign. Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see a let's get some puppies sign. Let's have a look at Cage Match and see what they thought of the last match. Okay, so first match they said was 6.32 out of 10. Kane against Chavo, 4.36. Big Show, Great Khali, 4.35. So they said it was as good as Kane Chavo. Don't forget, this is like 30 votes, right? Shawn Michaels Batista, they said was 6.8. They weren't crazy about it. Even Meltzer gave it 3.25 stars. So he wasn't crazy about it either. You lot, not down on it. Not down on it. So far, we've got good 96, good 99, good 93. And let's get might as well get the result for the HBK one. Oh, lovely work by Melina. Mickie James on the out. I didn't even see who was really in the other sides. Going up, over. Lovely roll up. Drop kick. Michelle. Going over. Grabbing Melina. Dragging her to the corner. Tag being made. Mickie James is in. Mickie James throwing in a big boot. Back elbow there by Melina. I mean, they're giving them a chance to do a little bit of wrestling here. Nice takeover. You got to remember, this is 7 years before the Women's Evolution. The Women's Evolution is 2015. That's when we're getting Charlotte and Sasha and Becky and all of those getting called up. Natalya making her pay-per-view debut. Wow. Natalya making her pay-per-view debut back in 2008. Knee coming into the midsection. Mickie James goes down. She goes back elbow against the ropes. She hasn't quite... the gear's not quite the gear that we would know for her. Oh, Mickie moves out the way. Kick coming in. Nice. Insecurity. Really good. Natalya. Oh, it's all breaking down. It's turned into a cat fight. Let's go. Yeah. May, it's all broken down now. Do you know what? Great. Only just edged it. Only just edged it. So it's got good 98. Oh no, great. Sorry. Great 52. Oh, really flipping close though. Kick coming in there by Beth. Cat fights. This is Dub Divas era, said Ace. Puppies are coming, says Dave. Ashley is in there right now. Crowd are into this. Crowd are making noise. Beth Phoenix throwing in some shots there to Ashley, taking her over. She's got her ragdolling her around a little bit at the moment. There was some really good talent around at this time. Ashley trying to get up, trying to throw in a back elbow. She goes down. Kick coming in. Ashley up. She's going up. She might be going for a ride. No, she manages to go through the legs. Beth gets knocked into, was that Layla? She grabs her, pulls her back. Beth going over, knocks down Mickie James. Mickie, though, is going to get into the ring. She grabs Beth. Kick coming in. Spikes her. Big boot. The referee's lost control here. He's absolutely lost control. Oh, that's lovely by Victoria. The Widow's Peak. That was a great move. Melina is in there. Bang. Michelle down. It is full on diva action. Oh. That was brutal. Natalya in there. Suplex was a little low, but Bulldog by Maria. Everyone's getting their spots in. Sign in the crowd says, "Marry me, Maria." I think, is that Layla just speared by Ashley? Ashley in there with Beth. Looking for a suplex. Got her up. She's got her up. This match has got way more time than I was expecting. That was nice, though. Good suplex. That should do it. And it does it. I can tell you that 20 people have voted on this on Cage Match. They've given it a 2.48. Beth, Jillian, Layla, Melina, Natalya, and Victoria pick up the victory. And there we go. There was your women's division in 2008. Some all right talent in there, to be honest. Can't be down on Mickie James or Beth Phoenix. Natalya. Michelle McCool. It is a bit of a forgotten time. Mrs. Cope, or whatever Adam's called right now. So glad we don't have these matches anymore, said Dr. Lucha Lala. Completely. They are just really a way of getting the women onto the show, aren't they? It's really nothing more than that. It is just, how do we get the women onto the show? I don't think we've got loads of matches left. I think we've only got 2 matches left to go. Undertaker, Edge. The rematch. So Undertaker, Edge, and then of course we've got our main event, which is the Elimination Fatal 4-Way. It's all right. It's a very, very watchable show. I feel like I let myself down, says Edge. I feel like I let you down, baby. I never need to see Edge and Vicky Guerrero kissing like that ever again in my life. Always great seeing Kane and Undertaker. Oh God, this is going to be like the most horrific video package. So it's Undertaker being punished for beating Edge, and we're seeing Edge relaxing. 2 weeks ago, Undertaker having to face Batista. And Edge absolutely loving it. It's a good little story, isn't it? World Heavyweight Championship match, Undertaker, Batista, week after week after week. Ugh. Excuse me, says the excuse me. Who was that woman claiming to be Natalya? Said Trippy Gary. She did look different, didn't she? That was her PLE debut. I didn't know that. No way could I have told you what her first PLE debut was. That might be pretty fun for like members' questions in the future. Not this week, but on this day. I voted all time, said A. Jobson. I bet you did. I don't think so. I think her Tron contract expired. Who's that? Oh, does Vicky still work for AEW? I don't know. I don't keep an eye on AEW comings and goings, but Dr. Luchalala doesn't think so. So Killer said he took one for the team with Vicky or got offered that bag. He must have been offered that bag, mate. He must have been. You don't... This is the dark side of wrestling, isn't it? The dark side of wrestling. You want to be a wrestler, you want to be an entertainer, and then you find yourself in a situation where you've got to get intimate with Vicky Guerrero. No offense to Vicky Guerrero, but do you know what I mean? Not something I would be getting into wrestling for. Why don't we put Logan in those situations? Yeah? Why don't you make Logan do that? Why don't we have like some heel old Mae Young type GM? And like Logan's trying to get opportunities, and so he has to like do stuff with her to try and get opportunities. I mean, that's the kind of content Logan would love to, you know, I got to do what I got to do type stuff. I mean, I know people don't want Logan around at all, but I kind of feel like you could run that story in 2025. Oh, God. Could you imagine what a Death Rebel Undertaker theme would be like? Could you imagine how mid it would be? How absolutely uninspiring it would be compared to this? It'd probably be like, here's the dead man Janan, Jan, Jan, Jana. He's the dead man. Janan, Jan. It would be awful. It wouldn't be like this. Oh my God. Oh, it's just the best, isn't it? It's just the best. Wrestling's the best. Whenever I see an Undertaker entrance, it confirms that wrestling is the best. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. 2008. Enjoy him. You've only got him for another 12 years. And the streak for about another 6. And really, after the streak, it's nothing to write home about after that, is it? You've got him for another 6 years. Oh, he's still really good at this time as well. He's still hitting. I don't think the decline comes in until after. I didn't detect it at 29. I'd need to go back and rewatch 29. I'd need to have a look at his match with CM Punk and see, was he off? Were there signs? There was nothing off about his end of an era match at 28. I wonder if the wheels fall off at 28. I wonder if the end of an era really is the end of an era. Because the concussion, he is just not himself in that Brock match, and he's not himself after. I think there's an all right tag match in there afterwards, and the Bray match was okay at 31, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. It wasn't this. Look at him. The dead man. The phenom. How do we not put him on Mount Rushmore? Whenever we do a Mount Rushmore, Undertaker rarely makes it. We're disgraces. We're just disgraces. We're rubbish wrestling fans. It's always Stone Cold and Rock and Cena and Roman, and sometimes he makes it. Sometimes it's Brett, sometimes it's Shawn, but oh God, look at him. He's the best. Brock zapped all the Taker out of Taker, said Zoom Station. This was Undertaker in ring prime, said Steve. He was in the best shape of his career and he could go. Frankie said Undertaker looks like my grandma. What if Undertaker is your grandma? Did you think about that? So both guys get in their intros. It is Undertaker Edge. Big cheer. Big cheer for Undertaker. Edge. Not liking what he's seeing. I think Edge was hoping that Undertaker was going to be a bit more beaten and broken. I'm going to hurt you, Edge. Straight into the stance. The greatest pure striker in the history of WWE. Nope. It is weird, isn't it, to look at, imagine if you was an Undertaker fan, 90, 91, that guy that would come down really slow, you know, do all that kind of really slow movement. He would do explosive stuff during the match, but by and large, Paul Bearer, all of that. You know, look at him here. I mean, it's just like the evolution of his character, the way that he was constantly bringing it, pushing it forward, moving it forward, not standing still. It really helped the longevity of his character. Massively helped the longevity of his character. We are going to need to see that with the Wyatt 6 when they get up and running. If the Wyatt 6 are going to be around for the next 20-odd years, which, I mean, of course they are, we need to see their characters evolve, like The Undertaker evolved. Right now, Edge back in the corner. This is my favorite Undertaker, said Elijah. I can understand that. I really love this period as well. It's hard for me to not choose like debut early Undertaker, but oh my god, WrestleMania 25, 26, 27, 28 is about to happen. We are literally a month or so after 24. So this is peak. He's about to deliver 4 of the greatest matches in WWE history at WrestleMania. Bang, 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 bang. But I mean, he's putting on just great matches on shows around it as well. I mean, this is just where he is right now. Cringe said, I've got an Undertaker statue. Have you? One of those little ones. Which one? I've got a Bruno one. The gold things. Let's have a look. Oh, they've done a few, haven't they? Like little bits and bobs. They did mini gold statues. I don't have the Undertaker one. I wonder if you can still buy those, actually. Undertaker in control. I would show you my Bruno one, but it's a little out of reach. He's back in the in control, throwing in a shot there. Can't even find a flipping picture of it. Ah, there it is. This is the Bruno one that I've got, and they've done little replicas of, I think, a lot of the other ones. That's the Bruno one that I've got. They were at WWE Shop. You could get, like, Roddy Piper, and you could get loads. But I've got that Bruno one. It's great. Doesn't move. It's metal. They did a Dusty one and all of that. I wonder if they'll do a Triple H one. Clothesline there by Edge. Edge going against the ropes. Oh, Undertaker going into that barricade. There was a woman in the front row that just screamed. You need to pay attention, love. You need to pay attention. I don't think they did an Undertaker one, unfortunately. Of those. Into the ring posts. They should do a Bruno Battle Royal, said David. Bruno Battle Royal. Yeah, there isn't anything named after Bruno, is there? That's okay. Can't name everything after people, but it'd be nice to do something if ever they go to the Garden, Madison Square Garden, you know. Maybe the Bruno Battle Royal. Undertaker in control, getting back into the ring. How would we feel about Punk dethroning Cena on Cena's last day? Logan has to have a live sex celebration with Vicky on Raw. Yes. I mean, I don't want to see that, but I would find it humorous. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind Punk dethroning Cena on Cena's last day. If Punk's got money in the bank or something like that. It's hard because I think his last match is going to be in Boston. And I don't think that crowd's going to be booing John. So you might have to get the belt off him like the show before or something like that. Apparently the theme for this event was All Summer Long by Kid Rock, which is a track I don't know. 9,000 in attendance, and we're in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay, Undertaker in control. Edge is on the edge of the ring. Leg drop. Michael Cole said it was on the sternum, and Mick Foley said it was across the throat. Undertaker getting back into the ring. Edge in there as well. Bang! Slamming him down. Undertaker against the ropes. Leg drop. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Same woman years later targeted by Stone. What, the woman there in the front row that just screamed? Yeah. Imagine she just has constantly horrific. That's why she fainted with the Stone Cold thing. She wasn't actually hit by him, but she was just having flashbacks. Kick coming in there by Edge, stomping away. What are the thoughts on Travis Scott being at Backlash as well as Cody, said Dave. Yeah, there's a chance that could go down. There's a chance. I mean, there's rumors of us getting a tag match. So it could be that they get involved. Yeah. Cody is not expected for Friday, but he is expected for the 16th. So he could get involved in that match. Maybe Travis gets involved. I feel like someone's got to get involved. Cena's definitely retaining, and it's going to be through cheating. So I don't know if Travis is free. I don't know if we go with Travis, but if we are building to a tag match, then maybe. Maybe this time Cody comes down. Crowd will be on Cody's side because they're going to be a very anti-Cena crowd, aren't they? So yeah, I think it makes sense, but like it. Ronnie said, I like CM Punk's Money in the Bank cash in Cena in Boston because he beat John in Chicago when he took the title, says Ronnie. Right now, Edge in control. Do you know that we've been watching this show for an hour and 50 minutes? This does not feel like a show I've been watching for an hour and 50 minutes. It's gone by really quickly. Shot raining down there by the dead man. Look at these big ground and pound blows by the Undertaker. 19, 16, and 2. Good 98. You lot said good 98 for that 12 Diva match. You did not hate it as much as I thought. Drop kick there by Edge. Edge drop kick to the back there of Undertaker. Undertaker going to the outside. Edge going outside, trying to follow up. Obviously, the story of this that they showed us was how Undertaker had been getting like wore down in the weeks leading up to this. So Edge looking to try and take whatever resistance the Undertaker has got, wear him down. He's got a like a camel clutch applied, but it's not a very good camel clutch. I hate it when it's applied that way. I hate it when the person's on their knees. It's a way of... That's better. That's better. When you're on the knees take some of the pressure. It looks a lot better like that when you're not on your knees. But camel clutch is in. It's an odd move for Edge to go for. Is that green shirt guy as well? That dude looks like green shirt guy. I think that might be. Is he wearing a green shirt? I haven't really noticed, but there's a dude in the front row, not in the center. He's not wearing the hat. But he is giving very strong green shirt guy vibes. Edge coming in, throwing in a shot. Undertaker down. Again, trying to apply camel clutch. I hope that Travis Scott gets potatoed. Shots coming back there by the Undertaker. He's trying to power up. He's got Edge on his back. And boom! Drops him down. Edge is down. Green shirt guy. Yeah, I sort of feel like he's over to the left. 2 people in. one person in now. Front row. Green shirt guy has hair and has different cloth. Who knew? I can't. He's sat down, so I can't see if he's even wearing a green shirt. It might not be him, but he is got the facial hair and the face looks similar. Undertaker trying to get back up. There's nothing gangster about Travis Scott. I've took bigger shizzes and harder than him. Your shizzes, your stalls are hard, are they, James? I'm going to search to see if that's a problem. Hard stalls can be a problem, especially if it becomes a chronic issue. If they're painful, it could lead to complications like hemorrhoids or fecal impaction. James, have you got fecal impaction? Have you got an anal fissure? It's a tearing of the skin around the anus, and that happens if you have hard stalls. Do you suffer from an overflow of diarrhea? In some cases, a liquid stool might leak around fecal impaction. So you might actually have a hard stool that you can't get out, and you might have diarrhea dripping around that. Is any of this ringing a bell, James? Apparently it can be a problem. This can be an issue. God, imagine that. Imagine if we are able to medically diagnose an issue because of someone putting something in the chat. Guys, can we get some prayers for James's anus, please? Let's get some prayers for James's anus. Yeah. Right now, Edge is knocked down there by the Undertaker. Guys, one praying hand is one prayer. Here they come. Here they come. Oh my God, you lot are the best. I might light some candles. Ah, elbow there by the Undertaker. Dave said, hard stall sounds like an AEW. AEW hard stall. Let's go. Get ready for fecal impaction. 2025. Yes. Oh my God, look at all these prayers. Oh my God, this is the best community. It's only when there's an emergency like this and the community really shows out that we show how powerful we are. Looking for a choke slam. Undertaker with Edge. Look, they don't stop. There's candles from Johnny as well. Johnny. That's the best. Shoulder up by Undertaker. Peach prayers. Dub support. It is dub support. So they're saying that Edge, we're trying to desperately get the attention back to the match, but it's difficult. I know it's hard, quite literally. That's the problem. Right now, Undertaker grabbing Edge. He's got him up, and whoa, it's a little bit messy. That's also the problem. Undertaker going over, looking for the cover. 1, 2, foot on the rope. It's lovely when they do that. Lovely when they do that. A little bit of the old foot on the rope. Erase your mind. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Long Beach Hippie said AEW hard stall live from the Hollywood Bowl. Scooping up. If you are an AEW fan, it's just a bit of bants. It's just a bit of bants. Oh dear, the turnbuckle pad removed. Undertaker goes into the exposed turnbuckle pads. He manages to knock Edge down, though. Referee has got the turnbuckle pads. He's going over. What's he going to faff around putting it back on, is he? Bah! Kurt Hawkins. Kurt Hawkins. The Edge head. Nailing Undertaker whilst the ref was faffing around trying to reattach a turnbuckle pads. Come on, dead man. Guys, we're in. We're in. We're well into this. We are well into this. Joshua's still sending in prayers. Ronnie is sending ambulances. Oh, he went for a spear. Boom. DDT. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Crowd never like this live now. They're too smart, said Frankie. David said, let's go, Taker. Come on, the cameras are out. The cameras are out. Taker with Edge. Boom. Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder. Matt Cardona down. He's going for the last ride. No, reversed. 1, 2. Oh, Hell's Gates. Hell's Gates. Hell's Gates. Mick Foley said he's got to tap and he's got to do it now. Hell's Gates. There's no shame in tap. There is. Lots of shame. Edge is trying to get out of it, and there's the tap. Look at him tapping like a little Gunther. Look, Undertaker not letting go of the move. Ref, do something. Ref, do something. Ref, do something. Here's Vicky. Here's Vicky. Vicky up. She's on the edge of the ring shouting. Undertaker releases the hold. I think there's blood on the mouth there of Edge. Undertaker. The ending to that match was really good. Bum, 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 bum. Right, let's get some match scores, shall we? Dave Meltzer gave that last match, because I know you all care. I know you're all desperate to find out, and I like to bring you that information. Oh my God, look at the bloods. Doesn't look real, but it could be. He gave it 3.5 stars. I hope that is a capsule. He can hurt you. He can hurt you bad. There's a real commotion. I don't know why there's a commotion. Stretchers out there. Maybe Undertaker left. I wish they didn't show people being put onto a stretcher, because immediately, as soon as you see that, you go, well, this is fake. It would be a lot more effective if they just did not show Edge. Like, you've got to make sure there's a glimpse. You've got to make sure that they show a glimpse. But, yeah, there's no... Look at the close-ups. Right, go in. Go straight in on the face. Go back to Edge. Go back to Edge. Show Vicky. All right, there's Edge. Right, well, let's show him getting loaded onto the stretcher. Yeah, go up to the face. Show the blood. Show the blood. If that was real, you would not see any of this. But we didn't think that way back in the day. I don't even think I thought that way back in 2008, to be honest. Show Ed. That's it. Show the blood. Show the blood. Dripping down his face. I'm so sorry. She needs to be at the front of that stretcher going up the ramp going, excuse me, as it's coming through. She's literally made for that role. Why does that look so clumpy, the blood? If I was a doctor, I'd be like, that's ketchup. Dip some chips in that. Excuse me! Stretcher getting table pop. Who knew, said Dave. That was blummin' awesome, said Davids. Get a close-up, get a close... Can we see the wound? Can we see the... Get right in there. Can we see his brain? Is there any tissue? Can we see any tissue? Any muscle? Flesh. We want flesh. Undertaker. One more match to go, my friends. I'm sorry. I've slept with Vicky. Powerful words there from the Undertaker. Michael Cole with one of the worst ties I've ever seen. At one time, he was the very personification of evil. Ah, here's Punk. Good luck tonight. Punk with his briefcase. Is that Kid Rock song? Orton, Triple H, JBL, Cena. Who will win? Cena, 48%. Triple H, 36. JBL, just 4. Orton, 12. Our fans do not believe they're living in the age of Orton. I don't mind that poll, you know. I don't mind if they was to do that now. Obviously, you wouldn't do it for every match because, you know, if you did it for, like, Gunther, Jey Uso, and it comes out 100% Jey Uso, the fans have got no doubt whatsoever Jey Uso's winning this. Thing is, though, it's good to get that feedback because if you're Triple H, you can get a really good gauge as to where the fans are, you know? You could do those polls and not use them on TV, but still be good to do them. Their video packages are excellent, so looking back at WrestleMania. Mark Colley in time. This is very Johnny Cash. It's all right. I've not heard this before. Well, I have when I first watched this show 17 years ago, but... I don't hate this song. In time, your time will be no more. It's going to be good. Let's go. Results of the text poll have Cena with 48%, Triple H with 36%, Orton with 12%, and that leaves JBL with 4%. Or as he likes to call them, Mom and Dad. Very good. Hasib said, in your opinion, who's the greatest wrestler to never step foot in a WWE ring? Honestly, the first name that would come to mind would be Luthez, but I think he did. I think he did a Battle Royal. I think he did a couple of, only a handful of matches. But Luthez is regarded as one of the greatest NWA champions of all time. I mean, if you do a Mount Rushmore of wrestling, Luthez, I think, makes it. I believe makes it. Ricky Dozan as well for what he did over in Japan. You know, I don't think he ever stepped foot in a WWE ring. So I think he might have been a bit... I might have, actually. I'd have to look into that. If he did, it'd be at the very end of his career. And he probably didn't step into a WWE ring. They probably came to Japan. But, like, he is the person that taught Antonio Inoki and Giant Baba. He is the forefather of wrestling in Japan. Ricky Dozan. Luthez is just a great... And that, but if you want more recent names, I mean, I would have said Sting, but obviously he did. I think you put Osprey in that mix. I think you put Omega in that mix. I think you put Okada in that mix. Those would be like recent names. But like from the 90s, I would have had Sting. I think a lot of the big names from WCW did come over. So obviously some brilliant people over in Japan that never made their way. You could look at like El Santo, who's one of the greatest mass wrestlers in Mexico. I don't think he ever did. Or Blue Demon. Mil Mascaras did. He's one of the greatest luchadors ever. But he did step into a WWE ring. Royal Rumble, actually. So, a few names there, I would say. But, yeah, to be honest, I think it might be like an older name. It could be like, I don't know if a Jim Londis ever did or an Edge Strangler Lewis. I don't think Lewis did. I don't think WWE were even around. Here's the game. Edward said, I would give James a butt plug. I bet you would, Edward. I bet you would. Listen, whatever you two get up to in your spare time, keep that to your DMs, yeah? But Edward, thank you for that piece of information. Great Muta, said Lonnie. Great Muta's a great shout. Vern Gonya said Zoom Station. Yep. AWA. Great shout. Days, how do we rate an event all time? Meaning the card has to have no match less than 3.5. No. 3.5 is too low. No lower than 4.5 main event, or can there be 1 or 2 star matches? No, I don't think. I don't think you can have 1 or 2 star matches because, to be honest, it could get into all time. I'm thinking like 9, 10 out of 10. The whole card's got to deliver. The whole card's got to deliver. Every match has got to be in that kind of 4-star plus range, and there needs to be talking points. Obviously, if each match is 4 stars, then that's amazing. Because it's hard to just get a show to do that. There needs to be talking points throughout the show, and there needs to be at least one OMG, like really big, oh my god, like massive return, massive heel turn, or debut, or whatever it might be. That for me is that's how we get into like 9s. And then really, you know, the only reason that you wouldn't be doing a 10 is because of those 4-star matches. You might be like, I just wish that hadn't happened. I just wish this or this. And there might only just be little niggles. But for me, those would be little niggles that stop me going 10. 10, everything would have to be perfect. I mean, I can't say everything would have to be 5, but if I'm not giving every match 5, there's reasons why. So what were those reasons? Because those are obviously going to impact a match score, which obviously impacts a show score. So if you've got a match that's like 1 or 2 stars on there, that's going to drag down your overall score. But everyone's different, isn't it, how they get to scores? JBL making his way down to the ring. 9s are hard. 10s are borderline impossible. Most shows we will be about a 6, 7, 5, 7. Flipping SmackDown the other day, I gave a 4. Wow. Even here, he secretly hated us. Even at this point right here, he secretly hated us. And these people don't even know, do they? They don't even know. You're looking at him thinking that he respects you and loves you, and he doesn't. He's using you for merch. I'm so glad we've found out the truth. Sucks. John Cena sucks. Are you proud of yourself? Getting the title off Cody, who had to go through bad booking. So what? Lose the belt to you? I've gone through so many different emotions with John. I've never hated him. But I've spent a lot of my time indifferent to him. I've spent a period of my time liking him. I hate him now. I hate him now. This is the most I've ever hated him. Sucks. Cena dumped us. Well, dumped Cena, and I can't see no more. Yeah, I've dumped him. I've dumped him. Low-key, I miss this Randy thing. Oh, the music was so good, wasn't it? Yeah, I like this theme. I think it's just because it's a bit of a change. I think if we changed it and then stuck with this for a few years, I'd be like, I miss voices. It's a good gimmick, this, for Randy. That kind of him being very cautious. You know, that Viper sort of taking his time, having a look. Very strategic. It's a good way of presenting him. He doesn't get into situations that he's not ready for, or at least he tries not to. This is obviously a tricky situation. He's got 3 other guys to worry about. Holds up that WWE Championship. Blimey now, Buddy Rogers got a mention by JR. Say nothing you can say. Done to me. Gotta say, JBL did an excellent job of getting himself into this kind of a match. On a Randy in the other, Cena in the other. And then in the other corner, JBL. He was an excellent main event heel, actually. I don't begrudge him being in this, but as that poll just showed, I don't think anyone's expecting him to get the win. Triple H. Cringewolf said, my Rushmore is William, James, Days, and Dave. Cringewolf, shout out to you. Is that your Rushmore of people you hate or something? I feel like there's a swerve coming. There's going to be a swerve. It's people you can't stand. Look at him, Jesus. He looks so young. Cena rules, Orton drools. Yeah, you tell him. Imagine that. Like, oh, I want to show support for John and I want to blast Orton. What should we do? I'll have a sign that says Cena rules and you have one that says Orton drools. That'll show him. Got him. Yes. You watch, it was probably like a 2 7-year-olds, something like that. JBL attacking John from behind as Randy goes and gets a chair. Okay, so Undertaker match you enjoyed. That's good. You've rated that as great 65. So, Batista against Shawn, great 52. Undertaker Edge, great 65. Do you know, this show, I mean, I'm guessing this match is going to be fun. I can't remember it. But I can see as to why this got like a 7.25. It's fine, isn't it? It's fine. Shots coming in there by JBL is unloading on Triple H. David said Triple H rules. Wait till he hits that pedigree. Oh, John on the outsides. Unloading on Randy. Cena and Randy going at it. What I will say about this show, it has gone by very, very quickly. I feel like I'm about 40 minutes in. Genuinely feels like I've been watching this for about 40 minutes. But it's actually 2 hours 20. Crazy. Kick coming in there by Randy. And again, unload him. Days, a Mount Rushmore representing 1900 to 2025. The mix of cultural icon Hogan, technical longevity master Flair, era-defining anti-hero Austin, and a business revolutionary Vince McMahon, says A. Jobson. I think a lot of people would agree with you on that, to be honest. Orton tried to use the belts, but JBL kicked it in his face. JBL attacks Cena and Triple H joins the party. Big clubbing blow there. We got Orton and JBL working together as they're unloading on Triple H. Cena chant, you can hear the kids chanting for Cena. High-pitched chants. Right now we've got JBL, Triple H, Orton. JBL goes to the outsides. Shot coming in. Triple H and Orton going at it. Obviously lots of history there. Lots of history. Reversed, going over into the corner. Orton charging in. Bah! Into the ring post, mate. Hard into the ring posts. Dragged to the outsides. It's going to be a nice pace to this. Going over JBL into the ring steps. Into the ring steps. JBL down. Triple H coming over, grabbing him. Days, mine would be Suzuki and Magnum TA. That's very good. Oof. Magnum, obviously with the tragedy that he went through, never quite got to show what he could do. But God, I wonder what he would have achieved. Going over into the corner. Bang. Orton in. Kick against the ropes. Do you know one name that's not being mentioned Andre the Giant. Got to get his flowers as well, hasn't he? Leg drop. Bang! Randy down. Why was Cena hard for you to get into as a fan, says Ronnie. I was just a bit indifferent to him, to be honest. I think I was a bit too old for Cena. So if you're a kid, Cena's going to be the hero. He's going to be the guy you root for. But I think at this time there were so many exciting options. Yeah, JBL's like tap, because this is a fatal four-way that's got an elimination element to it, which is really good. Oh, Triple H! Yeah, I think it's just because there were times I really like Cena, but then there's times where I want to see Undertaker on top, or I want to see Shawn Michaels on top, or, you know, I want to see Orton on top. And it just felt like it was John that we went to all the time. The whole Super Cena thing, like, he was overbooked. And, you know, I think that's the same reason a lot of people had issues with John, was that he was shoved down our throats. And you might see other people and you might want them to get opportunity, and it was just John, largely always John. So, I mean, there's times like this, of course, where we do give Orton a run, and we will give Triple H a run, but that was the frustration. I was never bothered about him turning heel. I never really felt like, oh, I wish they'd turn him heel or anything like that. I was fine for him being in the mix, but it just felt like it was him all the time. But there's times I liked him, honestly. I never found myself hating him. And I've told that story before. I used to tune in about 2014, 2013 to Bruce Blitz, who was like the JD from New York of his day. He would rant and rave, and he would just go off about John. Really, his show would just be him moaning about John Cena. And so that meant if Cena ever did any like thing, he normally did, like that kind of held some people down or beat them or whatever, you'd tune into Bruce Blitz and he'd just go off. Just absolutely go off. I got a bit bored of that, though, to be honest. There's only so many times you can hear someone ranting about the same thing. But, yeah, I remember that. That was one of my first YouTube wrestling kind of experiences, of going onto YouTube to watch someone talk about wrestling. That was one of my first. I can't remember the year. I think it might have been later than 2010. Might have been like, I think it was like 2012, 2013. Right now he's got Orton in the corner. JBL looking for a superplex. Bruno, the living legend, he sold out Madison Square Garden. Said A.B. Jobson. Undertaker as well. Luthez. Oh, look at that. Multi-person spot. I do like this element of elimination. We've actually been saying that they should bring this back to shoulders up. I honestly don't mind, though, that if you beat the champ, match ends immediately. I don't mind that. That's not in play here. It's just elimination. Big shots coming in by Triple H and by John. Trading these blows back and forth. Triple H getting back to the corner. Bang, bang, bang. Throwing in these shots by Cena. Going upstairs. He's grabbing Triple H. Getting him over to the other side. Boots. I thought he was going to go for a... Oh, lovely suplex. Lovely work there by Cena. 1, 2. Kick out. Kick out by Triple H. It's good having JR and the King on commentary for this. Against the rope. Shoulder tackle. Cena over the other side. Another shoulder tackle. Gets him up, duck underneath. This is normally where we go, you can't see me. There's boos for Cena here. Cena. You can't see me. He goes against the ropes. Oh, spinebuster! And there's a big cheer by the crowd there. Big cheer by the crowds. Triple H kick to the midsection. Double underhooks. Duck underneath there by Triple H. Cena has got Triple H on his shoulders. He picks up JBL. Oh, boom, hey. Mate is there. Pin him. Is there for the taking. Triple H going for the pedigree. No joy. And, boom. STF is in. JBL in trouble. In big trouble. Taps. Taps. JBL taps. Are King and JR the best, or does Gorilla and Heenan top them? I think when it comes to calling action, I think it's King and JR. I love Bobby in the 92 Rumble. I like Bobby in the 92 Rumble where he's getting all like it's not fair to Flair, all animated. But I think the enthusiasm that Jerry and JR could inject was better than Gorilla and Bobby. I think Gorilla and Bobby are brilliant presenters. I think them on prime time was fantastic. I would love to have seen, actually, JR and Jerry the King Lawler tried to do a primetime wrestling. But I loved Bobby and Gorilla. I mean, I loved them. But if I had a gun to my head and I had to choose, I would say JR and King. The Triple H and Orton. Orton back and concussion kick to Cena, and Cena is gone at 10:54. So we're down to 2. And shots coming in by these two. So it's going to either be the champ or new champ. Looking for suplex. It's a shame they did it that way. So close, those two eliminations. Because this now has gone from being a Fatal 4 to like just a singles match. We haven't really had the kind of 3 guys, triple threat kind of periods. It's just very quickly gone from a Fatal 4-way to like a standard match, really. Shot coming in there by Orton. Triple H over by the ropes. Orton comes in over the top to the outsides. He goes down hard. The JO and King hosted the phone-in show, and that was hilarious. That's true. That's true. Boom, Orton face first. Triple H takes control, suplex, and then knee drop a la Flair, says A. Jobson. MP Park said Joey Styles is not the greatest, but definitely had a special quality, said MP. Edward said, Dave, Cena is huge here. He's massive. He's got a bald spot here. But anyway, it's been a good show. Yeah, it's been all right. Yeah, I think it's been all right. I can understand why this got like 725. Shots coming in there by Orton. Triple H down. They're fighting on the outsides. Shot coming in there by Triple H. And again, I mean, this is quite the moment because this is why that poll was good to do. Because 40-odd% of people thought Cena was going to get this. Bang. Triple H into that barricades. Goes over the barricades. There's someone there. You see, right now, they could be like, Triple H, don't let The Rock bully you in 2025. Don't ask me how I know this, but make sure you're standing up for yourself, yeah? In 2025, when you're the booker and Vince has gone, ask me how I know this is going to happen, but just even so. They should be saying that to him right now. They're chanting him. Triple H, Triple H. Mackenzie said the bully JBL is gone and the child hater Cena is gone. Were those their official nicknames, were they? I don't remember John Cena's child hating era. Apart from now, as you say. Yes! Imagine that. Imagine if John did go through a child-hating era and people still loved him back in the day. That would have been great. Orton then catapults Triple H into the barricades and he slides into the crowds. Boom. Back in the ring goes Triple H. Frankie said children grow up into people and people suck. Preach. Preach. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Bang. It's true, isn't it? All these kids, do you know what? They'll grow up to become critics. Wonder how Triple H feels about that. He just wants people to be fans, but all those kids, they're just going to grow up to be future critics. It's quite disheartening if you think of it that way, isn't it, Triple H? Bang, double axe handle. When Orton punted you back in the day, you were knocked out for weeks. But then it got banned, said A. Jobson. Dave said Cena has gone from making wishes to breaking wishes. Let the children cry. It didn't flip him work, though, did it? That kid in Belgium just looked confused. And then he did an interview where he was like, I still love him. I know he's only messing. I do like how WWE have leaned into that with the R-Truth thing, though. That's clever. R-Truth has not given up on Cena, a lot like those kids have not given up on Cena. So I do like that they've done that. I think that's pretty clever. Triple H is down. Orton standing over him. Orton rolls Triple H back in and gets a cover, says AB. Kick coming in. I love that match where it was Triple H and HBK knocks Triple H out. I was dying of laughter. It's iconic, isn't it? There was a triple threat that we did recently where, it was Theory and Grayson, wasn't it, in NXT? And people were talking about that match. Because obviously HBK, Triple H were DX at the time, and he betrays him at the start of the match. And earlier this year, we did A-Town Down Under in a triple threat with Oba. And people were talking a lot about that Shawn betrayal. Wondering if we were going to do that. But we didn't, actually. Shots coming in by Randy. Cena gone from loving kids to saying F them kids. R-Truth is a true legend. Defo Hall of Fame, said Dave. R-Truth needs to be in Hall of Fame. This has now prompted R-Truth Hall of Fame chatter, which I fully support. Shoulder up. Shoulder up by Triple H. Randy. I think they really missed a trick with this match, going so quickly from a fatal four-way into just a normal standard match. Randy. All over Triple H. Yeah, he is choking him out right now, and he's got his legs wrapped around him. Triple H trying to get out of this. Triple H grabbing a hold of the ref. Headlock still being applied here by Randy. Referee again just having a word with Triple H, but Triple H getting back up to his feet. What do you say, Triple H? Again, being applied. Who would induct R-Truth? Oh, it'd have to be Cena, wouldn't it? It'd have to be Cena. Surely. Mackenzie said Randy to punt Cena to turn him face at Backlash. Is that your prediction, is it? Mackenzie also said it must have been fun sharing a locker room with the great Khali. I think I missed that one, but certainly good if the soap was quite high or, you needed to adjust the shower head. He'd probably have his uses. Here we go, Triple H. Trying to get back into this. Throwing in some shots, and again. He's going against the ropes. Oh, bah! Power slammed. Yeah, he was trying to come back. Triple H doing some good selling there. I like his selling. He's contorted over. Orton foaming at the mouth. He's going to that place. He is. Is waiting to deliver that RKO. He ain't gonna get it. Triple H slowly getting up. Turns around. Ah! I wondered how he would prevent it. That's a good one. He goes into it and Triple H pushes him away. Look at the look on his face. Oof. Oof. Dave said Jesse James to induct R-Truth. It was his former tag partner in TNA. Uncle Revel said, I just watched that video of the micro wrestlers. Little Aussie killed me. It's fun, isn't it? It's fun. We looked at their roster last year, actually. And done it this year, so... Little Aussie. Bang. Another shot coming in there by Triple H. Boom. These two exchanging blows. Looks like there could be more cuts in September. TKO apparently don't want to run Evolution 2. They don't see the point. Really? Really? Oh, I've not seen that news. Brady has sent it. Really? They don't see the point. They are business orientated, aren't they? But can't the point be, well, we're trying to grow women's wrestling? If you was to say to TKO, look, at the moment, the business is, merch with about 30% is coming from women. We think we can get that to 50. That would mean an increase of X amount, but we need to invest in the women's division. I mean, I don't think they would turn around then and go, oh, we don't see it. They just need encouragement. They just need to know what the dollars are going to say. At the moment, ticket sales are like 30% women. Merch is about the same. We think we can get that to 50. Which, if we can, that would result in X amount millions more. So, can we just do Evolution 2, please? Yeah, you boomers. We'll let you put some logos in the ring. Oh, straight over the EC dub table goes Randy. These two have fought for a long time, haven't they? Since the eliminations. Little Jimmy is going to... Oh. Very good. James said, if it's true, of course. Well, of course. Of course. TKO needs a good slap, said Blake. Or Triple H going over to the SmackDown commentary table. I wonder why it was all black. I wonder why the SmackDown one wasn't like blue and the Raw one was red and just the top bit. Randy has got the ring stay. Oh, he's struggling. He's struggling. He can't separate them. Ah! No, I did it. He was struggling, though. Let it be known he was struggling. Vince. Meltzer. What's that about Meltzer? There's a Meltzer sign. Meltzer mullet something. Here we go. Ring steps. Hold your sign up again, you boomer. You're on TV. This is your time to shine. Rand. Oh, my God. He really smacked his head, didn't he? What does this sign say? I really want to read that guy's sign. It says Meltzer mullet something. Orton holding the back of his head there. He gets back into the ring. Imagine taking a sign, and then as soon as people are fighting in front of you, you go, oh, no, it's not the right time. I'm not going to hold it up right now. It might get seen. It might get seen. Some of these fans back in 2008 were real boomers. Spinebuster. Mackenzie. Apparently, Shinsuke could leave when his contract is up. Yeah, there's been reports that Shinsuke's already gone, which are not true. So, I don't know. The Shinsuke stuff's like... It could be true. But, yeah, where's that from? If it's from a reliable source, then interesting. If not, then, like... nah. Because there's been loads of chatter about Shinsuke this weekend. And it's not been true. Oh, referee in the corner. Dave said women's wrestling is what got me watching wrestling. I bet it was, Dave. I flipping bet it was. That is the least surprising comment I've read today. That is the least surprising comment. It was women's wrestling that got me back into. I bet it was. I bet it was that dirty apartment stuff. Dave, get the tissues. Yeah. Let's go. The dirty boys. The dirty boys. Get the tissues. Triple H getting his shoulder up. If Shin wanted to leave WWE, then he would have left ages ago, said James. Triple H. Triple H. Time traveling hobgoblin said Liv Morgan got me watching wrestling again. She does have an excellent skill set, yes. Triple H down. Randy standing over. I'm shocked. I do not remember this match being this long. I don't remember this match, but... Randy is looking around. My catchphrase days on the live streams is Dave, get the tissue. Is it really? That's a good catchphrase. That's a good catchphrase. Keebler and Lita actually got me into checking out wrestling, I bet. Oh, there we go. Now all the pervs are coming out the woodwork. Oh, kick to the midsection. Double underhooks. No joy. Oh, kick. Ooh, didn't get it. Kick. Pedigree. 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 1, 2, 3. Triple H does it. New champ. New champ. Oh, my God, he's done it. The underdog has done it. The ultimate underdog. Always the bridesmaid, never the brides. I know you can take me. Oh my God, Dave, get the tissues. The legend killer no more sign. I want to see what the Meltzer sign said. Dave Meltzer gave this match 3.5 stars. And Cage Match gave it 7.3. I think the general consensus is Undertaker Edge was better. This was nearly half an hour long, this main event, you know. I think it was a bit too long. That stair spot is pretty fun. Let's have a look. No, his head goes nowhere near, actually. Yeah, that was some good selling by Orton. Bang, spinebuster. This was back when the titles would change every week. They're just showing some replay. Days, why is your chat so pervy? I thought this was an educated, loving wrestling community. We are. It is exactly that, Hasib. But it just so happens that we're also perverts. It's very unfortunate. Pyro going off. New champ. That's a big deal, actually. I know the belts would change hands a fair bit, but it's still a big deal, isn't it? It's still one of those where if you didn't watch the show, you would be like, oh, did I miss anything? It's like, yeah, you sort of did. You sort of did. You want a big talking point. You got a big talking point. Get your scores in for the match, but out of 10, what would you score the show? I can tell you on Cage Match, because we're Cage Match stands now. 725, 158 votes for that, though. So not the highest rating in the world, but 158 is not too bad. I'd say they think that Kane, Chavo, and Big Show Great Khali dragged this thing. Oh, and the women's tag match, of course. Those are what bring the thing down. I think the main event is a bit too long, to be honest. I think Undertaker Edge. What's the best match? It probably was Undertaker Edge. You lot said that was great 65. So, match scores. Matt Hardy against MVP, good 96. Kane against Chavo, good 99. Great Khali against Big Show, good 93. Batista against HBK, great 52. The Divas, you said was good 98. You enjoyed it, but we are perverts. And there was 12 women involved. And we was watching in case they might kiss. So, do you know what I mean? Edge, Undertaker, great 65. And I don't know what this is going to come out as, but, well, we'll see when we get a few. We've only had 55 votes, so we will see. That was the best match. Khali versus Big Show, said Frankie. We've got 7, 5, 7.5, 7, 9, 7, 7, 7.5, 7, 7, 7, said Stephen. So lots of sevens. Blake said 9.5. 5 of the 7 matches broke 3 stars, and the final 2 championship matches broke 4 stars, said A. Jobson. 9 for the star power, said Zoom Station. I would give it 7 pervs out of 10 pervs. That's a lot of pervs, actually. If I walk into a room and there's 7 pervs in there, do you know what I mean? I'm going to feel vulnerable. So it's a lot of pervs. Blake02 says 9.5. Even Big Show, Great Khali was passable. The 12 women's tag match went by quickly. That's true. There weren't many bad moments. It is true. But I would also say I don't know that there was many great moments either. I like this. I like moments in matches. I don't know that I found myself like really enjoying any match. I don't think there's anything here that you desperately need to see. But if you was watching at the time, then obviously there's things here you need to know. 2 title changes, for example. I blame society, said Frankie. Yes. The opener with Matt beating MVP was the right call. The fans were really happy about that MVP title loss. Triple H winning the title again. Put an end to Randy's long reign as champ, said A. Jobson. Okay. Where are we? I don't think we're going to get drastically more votes here. But if you haven't voted, get your votes in. Don't forget, of course, we are back tomorrow with Raw. Of course, we always are. So we're back tomorrow with Raw. Don't forget, you can still vote for who you want to see go into the Community Hall of Fame. That poll is underway at the moment on the channel. So if you've not voted, you can do that. Prediction videos up, I'm sure you've seen, for Backlash. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need to draw to your attention. If you are a member, then of course you can join a tag team and get your thing into your comment in. That is needed by, I would say, first thing tomorrow. I just need to know how many teams I'm preparing a game for. So, yeah, I think that's about everything. Dave said 12 divas. I've no more tissues. Well, Dave, I love that for you. I love that for you, Dave. I need to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, says Dave. You did get votes, Dave. In our thing, you did have nominations. So I know that you're not around as much. You can't be because like you've got your own channel, and I wish you all the very best with that, all the success with that. But even so, you're still getting nominations. People have not forgot, Dave. Backlash. It doesn't feel like a big deal, even if it is a good card, said A. Jobson. Backlash did a reported 200,000 buys on pay-per-view, which was one of the worst of the year. I think sometimes following WrestleMania is tough. Good point. Good point. Right, let's end this and let's run away. A. Jobson says AB, Hall of Fame. You're in. You went in last month, you boomer. Okay, 59. All-time 22 and 2. So that main event has come out as Great 73. It is your favorite match by 8%. So main event gets it. Undertaker, Edge in second place, and Shawn Batista in third place. So, and honestly, you lot are about that kind of 7-7-2-5 range as well. So honestly, for a Sunday night, I think that was perfectly acceptable. James said OGs. Don't forget OGs. I hear you. Dave said enjoy Raw, everyone. I will see you soon. Dave, and you, buds. And you. Thank you for stopping by. Have a great night. Good nights. We're done. Edward said Dave needs to be the forgotten about. The only person that should be in the Hall of Fame is me. Edward's like, forget about Dave. I should go in. Yeah, Edward, I don't think you got a single nomination. How do you feel about that? Please respond. How do you feel about that? Please respond, Edward. End scene. Well, before Edward can reply, let's go. So thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate it as always. And I will see you again next time.